கொஞ்சம் கேக்குது, அப்புறம் கட் ஆகுது. அப்படி
சார் இப்போ ஓகேவா சார்? சார் எனக்கு அந்த பேக்ரவுண்ட் எப்படி சார் மாத்துறது?
என்ன மேம்?
அந்த பேக்ரவுண்ட் எனக்கு மாத்த முடியல. ஐஜன் எனர்ஜி
பேக்ரவுண்ட் அந்த வீடியோன்னு இருக்கும்ல மேம், அதுல போய் செட்டிங்ல போய் மாத்தணும் மேம்.
இல்ல, அதாவது நம்ம இந்த செட்டிங்ல மோர்ல போய் செட்டிங், மீட்டிங் செட்டிங்.
இல்ல மோர் இல்ல மேம், வீடியோன்னு இருக்கும் பாருங்க. வீடியோன்னு ஒரு ஐகான், அந்த ஐகானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க
மேம். வீடியோஸ்ல அட்வான்ஸ் அப்படின்னு இருக்கும். அங்க ஒரு மேல சின்னதா ஒரு பிளஸ் இருக்கும் பாருங்க, ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடுல மேல
வீடியோ
பிளஸ்
செட்டிங் இருக்கும் மேம். அந்த வீடியோ செட்டிங்ல போய் அட்டாச் பண்ணி
ஒரே நிமிஷம். வீடியோ இப்ப வீடியோ இருக்கு சார்.
மேடம் அந்த வீடியோ பட்டன், வீடியோ பக்கத்துல ஒரு பட்டன் இருக்கும் மேம், அதை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க. அதுல வீடியோ செட்டிங்னு வரும். அந்த வீடியோ செட்டிங் கிளிக் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அதுல உள்ளுக்கு போய் ஆட் பண்ணணும். இல்ல அது கூட பரவாயில்ல மேம், ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் கூட பாத்து.
நான் ஸ்டாப் வீடியோல போய் என்னால பண்ண முடியல.
அதான் நீங்க மொபைல்ல இருக்கீங்களோ?
ஆமா சார்.
மொபைல்னா அது கொஞ்சம் வியூவபிள் ஆப்ஷன்ல சரியா வராது. அதனால பரவாயில்ல மேம், அப்படி இருக்கு.
Ma'am, shall I guide you?
எஸ் நிரஞ்சன். சுரேஷ் யூடியூபர் சுரேஷ்.
Ma'am.
வர்ணிகா மேம் ரெடியா மேம்? லட்சுமி மேம் ஆல்சோ தேர்.
சார் ரெடி சார்.
ஓகே
சார்
ஒரு தடவை என்னுடைய சார் சாரி, என்னோட பிபிடி ஷேர் பண்ணனும்னா அது ஒண்டி பாத்துக்கிறேன் சார். நீங்க ஷேர் பண்ணிடுவீங்கல்ல சார் பிபிடி?
இல்ல மேம், பிபிடி அவங்க ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கலாம். உங்களுக்கு வேணும்னு சொல்லுங்க, நிரஞ்சன் ஷேர் பண்ணிடுவோம்.
சார் எனக்கு அவரை ஷேர் பண்ண சொல்லிடுங்களேன், எனக்கு இங்க வர மாட்டேங்குது.
சரி ஓகே மேம், உங்களுக்குள்ளத ஷேர் பண்ண சொல்லிடலாம். நிரஞ்சன் மேடம், ஜெயரமா மேமோட பிபிடி எல்லாமே நம்மளோட எனர்ஜிதான் குரூப்ல இருக்கு. டேவிஷ், நீ லேப்டாப்ல தானே இருக்க டேவிஷ்?
Yes sir. Sir, actually Suresh sir has some problems sir. I told to call sir.
Suresh sir
has some problems sir.
Connection problem?
Yes sir, health issues. Sir, call பண்ணி இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ற சொன்னாங்க.
Sir, hello sir. Sir, Balamurugan sir joined us sir.
Ma'am, Bala இன்னும் வரல.
சார் லைவ் போயிடுச்சு.
சார் கேக்குதுங்களா? சார் ஜஹீரா சார்.
மேம் லட்சுமி மேம்.
சொல்லுங்க சார்.
மேம் அந்த ஒரு நிமிஷம், நான் உங்களுக்கு போன்ல கூப்பிடுறேன்.
பேசுறது கேக்குதுங்களா சார்?
கேக்குது மேம்.
சார் ரமேஷ் சார், பாலா சார் கால் பண்ண சார். அவர் தான் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போயிட்டு இருக்கதா சொல்லியிருந்தார் சார்.
சரி மேம், நானும் பேசிட்டேன் மேம், பேசிட்டேன்.
ஓகே சார்.
நிரஞ்சன், நீ லைவ் கொடுத்துரு நிரஞ்சன்.
லைவ் கொடுத்தாச்சு சார். Please unmute and talk, sir.
So I request all to switch on the video so that we will take one photo, screenshot, then we will go further. Varnika ma'am?
Sir, my video is not coming, sir. I'm not able to troubleshoot. Some firewall issues. Sir.
Okay, any more members are there? Jayarama ma'am? Video switch on பண்ணுங்க ma'am. We'll take the photo.
One second, sir.
Okay.
சார் நீங்க நான் இப்போ சிஸ்டத்துல ஆன் பண்றேன் சார். எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணீங்கன்னா நான் அந்த பேக்ரவுண்ட வச்சிடுறேன்.
சரி மேம்.
சார் அது வீடியோல போயிட்டு
மேம் வீடியோ பக்கத்துல ஒரு சின்ன ஆரோ மார்க் மாதிரி ஒன்னு இருக்கும் பாருங்க மேம் சிஸ்டர். அந்த ஆரோ மார்க்
சூஸ் பேக்ரவுண்ட் இருக்கு.
சூஸ் பேக்ரவுண்ட் இருக்கா மேம்? அது கொடுங்க மேம்.
அது கொடுத்துட்டு அது வந்து வேற பேக்ரவுண்ட் தான் இருக்கு. ஐஜென்ட் வர மாட்டேங்குது.
அது கீழே அதுக்கு மேலேயே வந்துட்டு ஒரு பிளஸ் ஐகான் ஒன்னு காட்டுது பாருங்க மேம். விர்ச்சுவல்
அதுல போய் அட்டாச் பண்ணிருங்க மேம். அதுல போய் இந்த இமேஜ் நீங்க டவுன்லோட் பண்ணி வச்சிட்டு அதுல போய் அட்டாச் பண்ணிட்டா உள்ள வந்துரும்.
சரி ஓகே சார். கொஞ்சம் டைம் கொடுங்க சார்.
ஓகே. Varnika ma'am, your problem solved, ma'am?
No, sir. There's some firewall issue, sir.
Okay, then I think reconnect பண்ணிச்சு பாருங்க ma'am. You can reconnect.
Yes.
Leave ஆயிட்டு connect பண்ணுங்க.
லீவ் ஆயிட்டு Chrome ஐடில இருந்து கனெக்ட் பண்ணுங்க மேம். Chrome ஐடில கனெக்ட் பண்ணும்போது ஃபயர்வால் இஷ்யூஸ் வராது.
Okay.
Niranjan, you can give co-host for all the speakers so that they will share their PPT. If any backup, you can share. Davish will share.
Okay, sir. Davish will share.
Davish will share the backup and.
Sir.
So Suresh.
Participants all share பண்ண முடியும் sir.
Okay, right. Ma'am, actually Suresh is some health issue. So I will initiate the session, then Lakshmi ma'am will take her. Davish will help to introduce the speaker.
Ma'am, you are using two devices. You can mute one of the device completely, ma'am, so that they will not be resolved when you on them.
Varnika ma'am, you can start ma'am. If video is not there also no issue ma'am, you can start.
Yes, okay, sir. Shall I start, sir?
Yes ma'am.
A very warm and green welcome to all the dignitaries, participants, and sustainability enthusiasts joining us today for the pre-conference 1 of IGEN ENERGATHON 2025, a green initiative by the Institution of Green Engineers. Today we gather with a shared mission to deliberate upon the International Energy Agency's global and world energy outlook on electric vehicles for the year 2024 and to explore the pathways towards a sustainable electric future. Thank you all for joining us. Let us set the stage for meaningful discussions, collaborative thoughts, and innovative solutions as we drive towards a greener, electrified tomorrow. I'm honored to welcome Dr. D. Lakshmi ma'am, Amit University, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. Energy is a golden thread that connects economic growth, increased social equality, and environment that allows the world to thrive. Good evening, everyone. Respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers, industry experts, and faculty members, and my dear participants, I welcome you all for this pre-conference. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to pre-conference 1 of IGEN ENERGATHON 2025, a visionary platform which is dedicated to innovation, sustainable energy solutions. As we embark on this journey of ideation and impact, today's mark the beginning of powerful conversation and a collaboration that have potential to redefine our energy future. With the climate challenges at our doorstep, this conference brings together young minds, thought leaders, and change makers to explore breakthrough in clean energy, energy efficiency, and green technologies. This pre-conference session will set the tone for the main event by showcasing fresh perspectives and real-world applications that can drive us closer to net zero goals. Let us embrace the spirit of innovation and work towards a more sustainable tomorrow. Wish you all a energy and inspiring session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for your warm welcome, ma'am. I now request Dr. L. Ramesh, President, IGEN, the driving force behind the Institution of Green Engineers, to deliver the opening remarks about the pre-conference. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very happy start after 20 successful execution of IGEN ENERGATHON 2024. We had a wonderful session which we had initiated from the year 2020. You all know the evaluation of ENERGATHON from 2020, which was initiated in the year 2020 during the COVID. When the COVID was there,
Sir,
yes, ma'am.
Shall I explain, sir? ENERGATHON.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me brief about IGEN ENERGATHON, a marathon for energy action. In alignment with SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, the Institution of Green Energy Engineers launched the concept of an energy action marathon titled IGEN ENERGATHON during the height of COVID-19 crisis. This initiative was inspired by the need for resilient energy disclosure and indexed to the 50th Earth Day, symbolizing a renewed global commitment to sustainability. IGEN ENERGATHON 2020, the first edition of IGEN ENERGATHON 2020, was groundbreaking world record attempt, a 13.36-hour non-stop virtual conference featuring 40 speakers and 10 partner organizations. The event culminated in energy action recommendations submitted to UN energy policy makers. Recognized for its scale and impact, it received awards from Asia Book of Record and the Indian Book of Records. IGEN ENERGATHON 2023, the second wave, which is a building on the success of its debut. The second edition of IGEN ENERGATHON was held in alignment with 53rd Earth Day, spanning 19.13 continuous hours. This event featured 110 speakers, including 55 presenters, and engaged a global audience of over 15,000 participants. Key insight and policy recommendations were submitted to local, national, and UN energy authorities. This impactful edition was recognized with an award from World Record Certification Agency, Great Britain, for its extensive global outreach and influence. IGEN ENERGATHON 2024, the third edition, IGEN ENERGATHON 2024, marked a remarkable milestone with an 25 hours and 25 minutes continual global marathon, focused on 6 critical themes under the banner of Energy for Sustainability. The event brought together 17 international partner organizations and participants from 17 countries. It cultivated the submission of strategic recommendation to energy policy makers at local, national, and United Nations level. This edition was honored with official recognition from the Office of world record European Union for its exceptional duration impact global encouragement. Now, the IGEN ENERGATHON 2025 fourth edition starts from May 17th and ends by May 18th, 2025. The IGEN ENERGATHON 2025, the fourth edition of this globally recognized energy action marathon, is set to make history with a 25-minute world record attempt aligned with 55 nth day and themed around our power, our planet. This edition will unite 25 global partners, 25 academic institutions, 25 industry and academic leaders, 25K plus participants, and 25 strategic themes. Together, these stakeholders will engage in continuous and solution-oriented dialogue to address the most pressing global energy challenges. Certified by Asian Book of Records, World Record Certification Agency, Official World Record, European Union, IGEN ENERGATHON 2025 will focus on shaping the Sustainable Energy Action Plan, advancing the Energy Triangle Framework, contributing to the progress of all 17 Sustainable Development Goals, driving impact discussions on state, national, and United Nations energy policies, and strengthening the SDG for energy initiatives through global collaboration and knowledge exchange. Back to Ramesh, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was, you all know that people, those who are watching, the Institution of Green Engineers, which we are working towards United Nations SDG goal related to green action. It was a fantastic journey. The Institution of Green Engineers will have 3-4 verticals are there, in which one vertical we have the energy saving clubs. We call it as NSAVE club. So through that, through the NSAVE clubs, we had initiated the energy saving concept, NSAVE 9 mantra, and it was well established and it was implemented in 40 engineering institution in India. So this was one vertical which we are coordinating, and second vertical through the IGEN Research and Innovation Consortium. Through that Research and Innovation Consortium, we have connected SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. Through that, we had two concepts. That is, one concept is related to the Kids Innovation Army. We call it as IGEN Young Green Innovators Army. So this Young Green Innovators Army will coordinate to get the innovation to file a patent. Through that, 4 patent was already filed and 10 patent in the pipeline. In action to that, with the support of college students, we are planning to file 99 patent in the period of 2 to 3 years. So this is one vertical, and the next vertical, we have IGEN Green Sustainability Partners Program. So through that Green Sustainability Partners Program, we had a very good concept of 9 action points to support the academic institutions. So in which we had communicated a lot of activities, particularly how the Sustainable Development Goal activities we can able to integrate with the institution. That is what we are focusing more on, the IGEN Green Sustainability Partner Program. And the final one, we have the IGEN SDG projects. We have 5 or 6 projects presently in action. IGEN Energy Double Line Challenge, IGEN Cycle for Green, IGEN Zero to Hero, IGEN Water Bank, IGEN minus CO2. So like that, projects which we are motivating the students, motivating the faculty members to go for green related SDG activities through the projects. And the final one is, we call it as IGEN conference. Through this IGEN conference, we had 2 branded conference, one which we all are initiating today, IGEN ENERGATHON, and next conference is the IGEN ENVIRONthon. These 2 we call it as the marathon. So the continuous online conference initiated from 2020, where our madam clearly pointed out how it was picturized, and through the support of 2 conferences, we had select the theme, and with that theme we will discuss, and finally we will send the recommendation to the local government and national government and the United Nations. So this is what our practice which we are doing. Maybe one or 2 our recommendation will be implemented by the respective policy makers. It will be the great success for us. So in action to that, we all are connected here for the pre-conference 1. So this pre-conference 1 is going to give you the deliberations of 2 reports. That is the International Energy Agency. This International Energy Agency will release lot of reports. In that lot of reports, 2 reports which we have taken today. That is, one report is Global EV Outlook report, and another report is World Energy report. These 2 reports which we are going to discuss today by our eminent speakers, and I am happy to note that these all our eminent speakers, but they are the organizers of IGEN ENERGATHON. So we want to start with all the organizers. So all the organizers as the speakers going to be having a deliberation on the report. After this session, it will be very clear understanding around 300 pages, 400 pages report, which we all collectively they are going to present, and the participants can able to view, go through that, so that easily they can able to get all the essence of the report. That is the idea. And end of the program, we are going to communicate the link for participation certificate, and tomorrow with the video we are going to submit the that is the quiz also. There will be a quiz questions which is prepared, and that will also communicated. So there will be a separate appreciation certificate will be there. If the students will watch the video, after that they will give the answer for that. More than 50% mark, those who achieved will receive the appreciation certificate also. So this is the essence of the program. And thank you all the organizers, all the backstage team, headed by Niranjan, Devish, Kabilan, and all the student members from, we have 5 colleges connected here. Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute students are there, and St. Joseph College of Engineering, St. Joseph Institute of Technology, Savita Engineering College, Ahmad, that is the AMS Engineering College. I hope some another 2-3 engineering colleges students are connected here. They will be act like a backstage team. So now we'll initiate the program with that is the World Energy Outlook 2024. So here in the world, normally there is a lot of reports which will be given by various organizations. Various organizations, they will give the report. Based on that, this world, how the energy across the globe it is there. Based on that, that report, there is a lot of findings are there in the report. But some important points they given, that is the geopolitical tension and fragmentation are major risk for energy security. So that is one. And independent analysis and data-driven insights are vital to navigate today's energy uncertainty. Market balance, it is very essential. How fast will clean energy transition unfold? These are all the question mark. Clean energy momentum remains strong enough to bring a peak in demand for each of the fossil fuel by 2030. Because by 2030, the energy mix has to be 75% renewable. This is what our 2030 agenda of SDG 7 affordable and clean energy states. So keeping that in mind, people all are working. The world has the need and the capacity to go much faster. Demand of electricity is taking off, but how high will it go? Again, it is a question mark. The rise of electrical mobility led by China is wrong footing oil procedures. Who will ride the wave of new LNG? Lower fuel price will come in future. Sustainable energy system need to be people-centric. So these are all the choice and consequences like that. These are all the major essence which the report states that World Energy Outlook 2024. And the next report is the Global EV Outlook report. So in this Global EV Outlook report, the prediction of EV car sales, growth in electric car sales, about how the market will be there, how the economics will be there, how the policy support is, whether it is boosting or whether it is giving any damage to that, the pace of the transition to electrical vehicle on their, whether it is affordability, pricing with respect to, and how the public charging need to be keep pace with EV sales. This all actually discussed in the reports. So I given little gist and essence of that, but the more detail our speakers are going to give you more detail on that. Now I would like to invite Davish to present the profile of Dr. Jayarama Pradeep. Madam, he is the professor and head from St. Joseph College of Engineering. Welcome, Davish.
So good evening, Manana.
Davish, profile, you make it fast.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Manana. Present here. I am IGEN Davis presenting here. Dr. Jayarama Pradeep is a senior member of IEEE, received her bachelor's from Madras University and her master's from Satyabama University and her doctorate in electrical engineering from Satyabama University, Tamil Nadu. She is currently working as a professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, St. Joseph College of Engineering, Tamil Nadu. She has 27 years of teaching experience. Her research interests includes power electronics, drives, robotics, electric machines, and controls, industrial automations, and Internet of Things. Welcome, Dr. Jayarama Pradeep.
Madam, welcome, ma'am. Jayarama, ma'am, welcome.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sir, are you able to view my PPT?
Ma'am, it is struck there. You share the, it is opened but not.
Should I share from Chrome or?
Yes, ma'am. Davis, or you will share the PPT of madam?
You can able to share this PPT right now. Just click share button. Okay.
Shall I share it for madam? Ramesh sir, shall I share madam's PPT?
So I will cancel this sharing option and Ishrat, please share from your side.
Okay.
Rajan, you will cancel that. Davish, you can stop sharing, Davish. Yes, ma'am, Ishrat.
Ishrat, please share the PPT.
It's visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Jayarama, ma'am, welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, all. I'm happy to be a speaker for this IGEN ENERGATHON 2025. And today, the topic what I am going to discuss among you is trends in electric cars and other lightweight vehicles. So, can we go to next slide? So the agenda of the PPT will be introduction to electric vehicles, trends of electric cars, market growth and adoption of electric cars availability and affordability, key players in EV cars, trends in other light duty EV and market growth of EV, other light duty EV, battery technology and charging infrastructure, policy and regulation, environmental impact, challenges ahead, future outlook and prediction. So now coming to electric vehicle, we all know electric vehicles are revolutionizing the transportation with zero tailpipe emissions, right? They combine sustainability, innovation, and efficiency to redefine the mobility worldwide. Electric vehicles are powered entirely or partially by electricity stored in batteries. Unlike traditional IC engine vehicles, EVs, we all know that it will never produce, it is zero carbon emission vehicle, we can say, and it is much more cleaner than IC engine. And in global concern, the overall climatic change or air pollution will be decreased by the usage of EV. And also now recently we are the fossil fuel availability scarcity is there, so that that can be rectified with the help of EV, using EV as transportation. So EV has emerged as a key solution in the shift towards sustainable mobility. By reducing greenhouse gas emissions and supporting the use of renewable energy, EVs contribute significantly to efforts at creating a greener, more energy efficient future. Now, the trends that is happening in EV car, contributes 25% of global carbon dioxide emission, making decarbonizing mobility essential, right? See, 25% of global carbon dioxide emission is only because of fossil fuel. Definitely it will going to release carbon dioxide. So in order to decarbonize or in order to reduce this carbon, definitely we have to move towards EV. So if we move to electric vehicle, obviously it has been it has been predicted that if you use EV, the global warming can be reduced, preferably for around 1.5 degrees centigrade. And phasing out of internal combustion engine vehicle will definitely, of course, it will achieve carbon neutrality at the mid of the century. And EV adoption is not just a technical shift, it is a core strategy in the global fight against climate change. Now coming to electric cars, the trends in electric cars, it is neared, now coming to the year in 2023, around 14 million electric cars have been sold out, and on road now we have around 40 million electric cars. And in that, 95% of electric cars have been sold in the major region of China, Europe and the United States. In sales, if you see, around 3.5 million cars have been sold compared to 2022 year. So if I compare last year, it is 35% of electric car has been sold out. Now, if I compare 5 years from 2018 to 2023, around there is an increase of 6 times of electric car has been sold out around this 5 years down the line. Now coming to India, it contributes, as I mentioned you, 95% of EV sales has been taken by China, Europe, and United States, whereas India it is only 2%. I mean, I'm talking about electric car. Okay, it is only 2% where electric cars has been sold. And other countries, the rest of the 3% is taken care by Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Latin America, Mexico, Africa. These are all the countries which contributes only 5%, including India. So the global EV market has hit around 388.1 billion in 2023 by selling this EV cars. it could grow to $1.5 trillion by 2032, and with the compound annual growth rate of 30%, it has been predicted that the compound annual growth rate will increase to 30% from 2023 to 2032. So this is the trend what is happening in EV car. And next, why EV car is such a trending? It is because the growth driven by the environmental concerns, net zero emission, as I mentioned, and technological advancement in charging station and in batteries, right? So these are and the incentives given by the government. So these are all the factors which makes the public or the customers to move towards EV rather than IC car. Now there are new breakthroughs in power electronic devices. So solid state circuits, LFP batteries are making EVs safer and cheaper and longer lasting. Governments and companies are investing heavily in fast charging stations, reducing range anxiety and boosting convenience in using EV cars. So automatically, all the automakers are introducing budget-friendly EVs under $30,000, which makes the electric mobility much more user-friendly for the customers. EVs now come with eco-friendly materials, software upgrades, and features like auto driving and vehicles to grid capabilities, which makes the customers to prefer EV rather than IC engine. So as I mentioned you, 35% globally in 2023, there is a rapid growth in EV sales. So compared to 2022, globally 35% of growth is there in EV, and the regional leaders are China. As I mentioned, China is leading 60% of EV vehicles has been sold in the last year, and in Europe it is 25%. North America, it is 10%. So totally you will get 95%, and the rest 5% is shared by India and all the other countries which I mentioned earlier. And also we have different types of electric vehicle like hybrid electric vehicle, fuel cell electric vehicle, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, battery operated electric vehicle, and mostly 70% of all electric vehicle which has been sold worldwide, it is battery operated electric vehicle. So people are moving slowly from IC engine to EV vehicle, which is not the case in 2010. In 2010, around 2010 to 2018, the EV growth, it is not that appreciable. Now coming, this is the graph which compares the growth forecasting, how the CAGR, compound annual growth rate will be from 2024 to 2029. You can see it is just rising, and the growth will be around 28.3%. So it is because of rising consumer demand and supportive policies by the government and better technology in battery and infra and the building up of EV. So that are all the key points which makes the EV cars to be sold much more. And now this graph, it explains, you can just check in 2010, what is it is almost zero. You cannot, it is not at all much appreciated in 2010, the EV car sales. But whereas slowly it has been increased, and in the year 2020, you can see there are around 3 million electric car has been sold, and coming to 2020-24, different countries, the majority is shared by China, Europe, and United States, where there is a tremendous increase in the EV car sales. So 60% of EV car sales has been taken care by China, and then it is Europe around 25%. Then it is United States around 10%. The rest 5% is by overall all over the other nations. So now, as I mentioned, it has been in the graphical and in the quantity. Now, in terms of market share within each region, if I see in China, 1 out of 3 cars registration is electric car, whereas in Europe it is 1 in 5, and in United Nations it is 1 in 10 cars. Okay, out of 10 cars, 1 is electric vehicle in US. This is the pattern what is followed in these 3 important nations. So electric car sales remains, it is very much limited in other countries, but in near future, it is pretty sure that it will grow. So including Japan and India, the car market, it is slowly improving their technology. So definitely there will be a huge growth in these regions also in near future, the other regions also in near future. Next, next is about, next slide, ma'am. Electric car availability and affordability. Now coming to electric car availability, there are 600 models. Right now in 2023, there are around 600 models available, and 2/3 of which are for large vehicle and SUVs. So electric car models increased by 15% in 2023. Just imagine, in a year, it has been increased to 15%, and this growth reflects the expand electrification and it targets a growing consumer base. So slowly, the fully internal combustion engine models has been declined, and every year this decline is around 2% per year. Now, the coming to the number of models around in 2028, it has been predicted it will go to 1,000 models in 2028. So if all the announced electrical models are launched, then electric and IC model availability could equalize before 2030 itself, which is not more, maybe another 4 years. We can see whatever models available in IC model, the same model will be available in electric vehicle also, with a reduction in price. So there is a trend now, it's going on in the manufacturer to focus from ICE to electric vehicle. This shift highlights a potential tipping point towards full electrification in the automotive market within the decade. So next, the key players in electric cars. So the globally, it has been mentioned, starting from Tesla, Nissan, BMW, Build Your Dreams, Volkswagen, and then finally the Zero Electric. These are all top global EV key players. And coming to India, the EV key players are Tata Motors, Mahindra Electric, Ola Electric, Ather Energy, and Build Your Dreams India. So those are all the 5 key players in India. And next is about, so far we have seen about the electric car. Now next is about the light duty EVs beyond cars. Now that will be an emerging market. So earlier electric car China was ruling, and India is somewhere, it is uncomparable. But whereas coming to light duty, which we'll be discussing in your next slide. India is the second largest country which uses second and 2 and 3 wheeler EVs. So the lightweight electric vehicle means the vehicle which weighs under 500 kilogram. So that is called as lightweight EVs. This category includes e-bikes, e-scooters, microcars, and neighborhood EVs. The market expected to reach around $350 billion by 2030, and CAGR growth will be around 9.5%. So the uses for this EV is from commercial fleets, municipalities to individual consumers. So this crowd, compared to EV car usage crowd, this crowd is very huge. So in India and the other regions. So that is the reason why India is the second largest. So now the growth market for 2 and 3 wheelers in 2023 is India, China, and the South Asian countries, nations lead the global market for electric 2 and 3 wheelers in 2023. Combining the both electric and IC powered through 2 and 3 wheelers driven by urban mobility needs, both are equally growing. Now, the mentioned regions, it is getting benefit because of dense population and rising demand for affordable, efficient transportive alternatives. So as I mentioned, India every year. And currently in 2023, around 19 million two and three-wheelers has been sold out, whereas in China it is around 17 million, and Southeast Asian countries it is around 14 million, including both EV and IC engine. And particularly EV engine in 2023, China has sold around 30% of two and three wheelers, whereas India it is 88%, and other Asian countries it is only 3%. Why China, in China or in India, the growth of two and three wheeler it is high? Because in China there is a strong growth because of advanced EV technology and infrastructure, whereas in India, as I mentioned, it is second largest 2/3 wheelers market, because the government incentives and delivery demand that makes it the second largest. And other nations, due to urbanization and environmental policies, even in other southern Asian countries also, it is just growing, the two and three wheeler just growing. So next is why the two and three wheelers are predominantly growing in all the nations. It is because there are the essential for daily mobility. See, instead of using car, two-wheelers or three-wheelers are much more comfortable. So the daily mobility for common people or in the commercial sectors also, they are preferring two-wheeler and three-wheelers. And this I have to mention. In India, out of 157 two three-wheelers per 1,000 people, 157 two and three wheelers are used. That means 35% passengers are using car, means 157 people out of 1,000 they are using two and three wheelers. And electric, this has been mentioned earlier, so we can go to next slide. So
ma'am, make it little fast, ma'am, so that
yes, sir, finished, sir, completed, sir. Now, India's electric two-wheeler market, particularly in India, why it has been growing? It is because the market size is very huge. The sales growth, as I mentioned, it has been 157 people out of 1,000 they are using, and policy support given by the government, FAME 2 scheme, and the novelty or the innovation that has been done by the top 5 key players in EV like Ola, TVS, Ather, and new incentives given by the government, again electric mobility EMPS scheme, and other incentives like GST, RTO rebates, and India Go Electric campaign. These are all the factors which influencing India to grow much more in two and three wheeler markets. So I think with this I can conclude, because I think I have given an eye opener session for ma'am. I think these things in future other speakers can explain, ma'am. So in the given time, I hope I have given you the trends, whatever it is currently happening in electric cars and in light duty vehicle. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So very well presented the trends in electric car and the light duty EVs by Dr. J. Rama Pradeep, St. Joseph College of Engineering. It was well noted that there is the survey states that there is a big possibility that the whole world is moving towards EV, and in which our India also in a progressing on, and Asia is in a progressing on. China is in the leading. Yes, but there is a lot of now technological challenges is going on. You all know that safety is one technological challenge and charging time is one technological challenge. There is a lot of solutions, innovative solutions are coming in that. Hope we'll be able to, maybe another couple of years, we all will be moving towards the EV vehicle. Now the second, next speaker, I would like to invite Dr. or Sagira madam. So ma'am want to leave now, so while inviting madam from B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. And madam is one of our very strong organizer. He is the head for IGEN Energy 99 Challenge, and he is the organizing secretary of IGEN Energathon, not from now. From last 3 IGEN Energathon, Madam is the organizing secretary. And I would like to invite Devish to give the introduction about.
Dr.
Devish?
Sagira is. Yes, sir. Dr. Sagira is an IEEE senior member. She received her bachelor's from University of Madras in 2004, her master's from BSc Crescent Engineering College under Anna University in Chennai in 2016, and a doctoral degree from Anna University in February 2018. Having 18 years of teaching experience, she started her teaching career as a lecturer in 2006 and currently working as associate professor in BS Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. She has published over 70 national, international journals and conference proceedings, 11 book chapters, 3 books as editor. She also holds 1 international patent and 3 patents. She is active participant in the IEEE Standards Association. She is working group member of IEEE P1729 recommended practice for electrical power distribution system analysis, IEEE P2882 WG STDS P2882 WG SG2 steady state, harmonic and dynamic stability, secretary and working group member of the IEEE PES task force session on demand flex metric standardization for grid interactive buildings and customer systems. She has received awards from Guinness World Book of Records UK, World Book of Records London for participating in the 150 Horse Conference Asian Book, and Indian Book of Records for being an editor and author in book title Most other authors contributed for single book COVID-19 and its impact. Best Innovation in Teaching Award, 2021 Young Educator Scholar Award in 10th National Teachers Day Award, 2019 Women Researcher Award, Outcasting Scientist Award, Innovative Technology Researcher, Dedicated Academician Award, and Best Academic Award from BSc Crescent Alumni Association during Hangout 2019. She has guided over 20 UG and PG candidates and 2 research scholars. She is a life member in 7 professional bodies. She acts as a reviewer for reputed journals, editorial board member, and advisory member in many conferences. Her areas of interest are power quality, harmonic suppression, active filter control techniques, renewable energy systems, microgrid, small grid, electric vehicle charging systems, AI in smart grid operations, and AI in electric vehicles and charging infrastructure. Over to Dr. Sagira.
Thank you, Davis. I am audible, sir. Sir, am I audible? Sir, my voice is audible, sir.
Yes, madam. Audible. You can proceed, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, audible, ma'am. Audible. So, good evening, all. So happy to see you. Thank you, Ramesh, sir, and thank you, Davis, for a nice introduction. So I am Dr. R. Zahira, Associate Professor from BS Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. So I'm also head for IGEN Energy 99 Challenge. So today I'm going to present a Global EV Outlook 2024. In that, one of the content, Outlook for Electric Mobility. So first, the summary of the key trends in electric mobility for 2024 is, first we go with EV adoption continues to grow. So despite some region slowdowns, global sales of electric vehicles remain strong with projections showing exponential growth over the next decades. So next, coming to battery technologies. So improvements in energy density, charging speed, and battery recycling are enhancing EV efficiency and reducing cost. So next, come to the policies. When we are going for EV and battery, we need a policy setup. So governments are enforcing stricter emission regulation and incentives to accelerate EV adoption. So then if we go for a EV and then policies, we need an infrastructure. So charging infrastructure expansion is a very much important in nowadays. So more public and private charging stations are being deployed, supporting faster and more convenient EV charging. So then coming for emissions, EV are displacing the oil demand, contributing to the cleaner energy grids and sustainable goals. So next, coming to the Outlook report. So in this Outlook report, as per 2035 target, the 3 scenarios are discussed in this report. The first scenario is about state policy scenario. So this policy is based on the existing policies and market trends. And second, APS, announced pledge scenario. So assumes all government pledges are fully met And then next third one is NZ0, net zero emission. So this is a target for the whole global world. So net zero by 2050. So it is alignment of the global emissions, that is it should be maintaining 1.5 degree pathway. That is, we have to decrease our Earth's temperature to protect our Earth. And next, this is the global EV growth trends. So we are having a statistical charts from 2023 to 2025. So for 2023 to 2025, each scenario is having the pledges, that is from state policy scenario 2030 to 2035, and then announced pledge scenario 2030 to 2035. So each country is going to contribute. So in this, China, Europe, United States, Japan, India, and rest of the world is having the statistical data to reduce the net zero, as well as the increase in sales of EV and the charging stations. So as per this scenario, we are having EV stocks, excluding two-wheeler and four-wheelers. So this growth may be 45 millions in 2035, but it will be increasing to 525 million by 2035. And as per APS, it is 585 million by 2035. And for net zero emission, it is mainly concentrated for net zero emission. It is going to protect your world. It will be around 790 million by 2035. So when you are going for stocks, we have to see the EV sales share also. So when we are going for EV sales share by 2035, steps is saying that it will be an increase in 50%, and by as per APS, it is a 66%, and as per net zero emission, it will be by 95%. So this is a chart by 2035, the EV sales and vehicle by each country wise as well as each vehicle wise. So we are having a country-wise emission, that is China, Europe, India, Japan, United States, and rest of the world. So we are comparing this with battery electric vehicle with plugged hybrid electric vehicle, with all two-wheelers, three-wheelers, load driving vehicles, buses, trucks. So nowadays in Chennai also, we can see the buses, EV buses, which is going to reduce the major pollution in Chennai. So we are also upcoming with the buses. So it will be affecting all the charging station and also our power demands. So this is the just a survey of electrification by electric vehicle types with our electric energy reports. So first, when we take the light duty vehicles, so it is around 55% of sales by 2035 according to steps, and according to APS, it will be around 66, and according to NZD, net zero emission, it will be around 85%. When we take for two-wheeler and three-wheelers, it is around 60% and 75% for APS and 100% for NZ or net zero. So we are going for net zero. If we are transferring all our two-wheelers and three-wheelers from fuel electric vehicle to electric vehicle, it will be a major contribution to our global mother earth. And when we are going for buses, we cannot transfer all the buses, 100% buses like two-wheeler and three-wheeler. When we take at least a step, major step, 30% of sales for buses in the steps and 40% of step as per APS and 90% in NSD, net zero by 2035. So this is the target for buses. And when you are going for trucks, so when we go for trucks, the capacity of battery we have to increase or cost research when we design the batteries or the charging infrastructure, we can go for percentage by 2035 and 30% and 55% in a net zero emission. So when we go for regional highlights by 2035, so as per China, leading globally in electric vehicle market. So China is leading the sales by 80% across the all modes, and it is dominating in the battery manufacturing in two or three-wheeler segments. And when you are coming for Europe, strong policies driving 85 to 90% of EV sales. And when you are coming for buses in Europe, they are having a 80% of electric buses targets and trucks 50%. So they are having a strong background of electric vehicles in Europe countries. And when you're coming to United States, so it is a rapid rise in the electric vehicle adoption. So it will be 70% of low driving vehicles in 2035. So when we are coming for United States, it is a massive EV and battery manufacturing investments. So when it is coming to India, it is 60% of low driving vehicles and strong focus on two-wheeler, three-wheelers, and also the public transports. And when we are coming for electric vehicle, that is industrial outlook as per industry. When we are going for industry, top 10 automakers plan to sell over 20 million electric vehicles annually by 2030. And as per OEM targets suggest, EV could make about up to 42 to 58% of car sales in 2030. And companies like Volkswagen, Toyota, and GM and Tata are driving long-term electrification strategies. So investment and infrastructure, when we are going for EV sales shares, we also have to concentrate on investment and infrastructure. So over 275 billion in electric vehicles and $195 billion is invested in battery investment announced by 2022 and 2023. And the US Inflation Reduced Act and EU, Europe countries Net Zero Industry Act are boosting the local productions. So China holds excess battery capacity ready for global exports. And when you are coming for battery innovation and technology, so nowadays we are having a lithium-ion battery. So this battery technologies can be increased with ultra-fast charging technologies. So which is going to charge our electric vehicle within less than 15 minutes. As we going for a petrol bank, we are just filling the petrol for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But when you are going for battery charging station, it is taking around half an hour or 1 hour to charge the electric vehicle. So the passengers are inconvenient for going for electric vehicle. But when we discover or have innovative methods to get a charging method less than 50 time, if you are charging
Okay, so thank you, ma'am. I think ma'am having disconnected, some issues are there. So thank you so much, ma'am. Almost you come to the conclusion stage. So it was you given the policy matters related to that. How the e-mobility charging infrastructure has to be there, and what are the policy changes which we need to do, given by the Sagira ma'am. It was well noted and well presented, and the participants, those who are watching the program, you can text your questions if you want to ask to the speakers in the chat box, so that our team is moderating. Satish Kumar is moderating the session, so he will back to the speakers, and you can able to get the answers. So now I would like to invite Devi. So very happy. Our next speaker is Dr. Ishrat Meera Mishra Nama, going to give the trends in heavy EV and EV charging. Ufa Jha College of Engineering and Technology. Madam is one of our pioneer volunteer from last 4 or 5 years. Madam is part of us, and he is the chief organizing secretary of IGEN ENERGATHON, which is going to be launched very soon, and in the month of June it is scheduled. I would like to invite the team from Davis to introduce ma'am. Davis and team, who is introducing?
Sir, we have not forwarded it, sir. From next speaker, we will carry on, sir.
Over to ma'am. Ma'am, you can.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I welcome you all once again to IGEN ENERGATHON 2025 pre-conference 1, which is on deliberation of International Energy Agency, World Energy and Global EV Outlook Report. I am Ishrat Meera Mirzana, who is the Director of R&D Cell, Mufkamja College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. I'll be talking about trends in heavy electric vehicles and its charging. So what exactly represents the heavy electric vehicles? So these are nothing but they are designed to operate electrically, offering significant reduction in greenhouse emissions compared to the traditional diesel-powered engines. Because usually when we talk about heavy vehicles, we prefer diesel-powered vehicles. So a trend is coming to operate on the vehicles which will be having very less gas emissions. So one of the trend is battery electric vehicles, which rely on electric power stored in batteries, producing zero tailpipe emissions and requiring recharging at the specific stations or home setups. Then we also have fuel cell electric vehicles, which convert the hydrogen gas into electricity to power the vehicle, emitting only water vapor, thus offering an alternative to battery storage limitations. Then we have hybrid electric vehicles, which combine an internal combustion engine with an electric motor, utilizing both energy sources to improve fuel efficiency and reduce emissions. These are the various types of heavy electric vehicles. Coming to the market growth and trend, the growth drivers are the environmental regulations, which are stringent environmental regulations worldwide, so that we adopt the cleaner technologies, pushing towards industries towards more sustainable practices. And also there are government initiatives, so that we'll be having the tax breaks, grants and subsidies to encourage businesses to invest in green technology, thereby stimulating a market growth. Nowadays, we can see many startups are coming in India with EV technologies also. Coming to the market segmentation, we have the commercial transport, which includes the freight and logistic services that rely heavily on efficient transportation solutions. And we also have a public transit. In India, we highly are dependent on this public transit, which includes buses, subways, commutator trains, which reduce urban congestion and promote eco-friendly transportation alternatives for the general public, and also industrial applications. Industrial application encompass a variety of sectors, including manufacturing, construction, where specialized vehicles and equipment are essential for operational efficiency. So this is the growth you can see of the heavy vehicles, industrial electric vehicles. We have tow tractors, forklifts, container handles, diesel trucks, and others. The major is the container handles. And then we have the forklift trucks, wherein the forklift trucks are utilized even in a big metro things or in malls and also marts, which we have it. Coming to the market overview for heavy electric vehicles adoption is, there is a rapid growth. The Class 8 truck sales are up by 400% year over year in 2023. And the leading markets, top heavy electric markets include China, US, and Europe. And the applications are used for urban development, delivery, and port applications. Coming to the use case, if we are talking about the adoption thing, Amazon is deploying 3,000 plus electric vans by 2025. So this is an e-commerce sector wherein they are deploying the electric vans for its communication. Then we have HEV technology innovations, that is high electric vehicles, heavy electric vehicles from lithium-ion batteries. Energy density has doubled in the last 5 years. And then electric motors, there is an improved efficiency and power output up to 95%. And drivetrain optimization, reduced weight and enhanced performance. The Tesla Semi has 500-mile range. So that is the technology innovation that has been brought in heavy electric vehicles. And for this purpose, the charging infrastructure is different from a light-duty vehicles. We can have public charging stations. There are over 60,000 stations worldwide. We can also have DC fast charging, that is dominant technology for heavy electric vehicle charges to 80% in 1 to 2 hours. Then also have high power charging, that is growing need to have 350 kilowatts of charging plus. So there is a investment that is being going across in America so that the charging infrastructure can be developed. The trends are we can have wireless charging, which is an emerging technology for depot charging, or battery swapping, that is fast fueling alternatives, taking 5 to 10 minutes, or the megawatt charging system. This is the new standard for heavy electric vehicles at 1 megawatt. So there is a deploying battery swapping for electric buses. That is the trend which we can see in US. The government incentives and regulations are one more factor why we are moving towards EV vehicles. That is subsidies and tax credits, emission standards, infrastructure investments are possible. And California has advanced clean truck regulation also in case of heavy electric vehicles. What are the challenges and opportunities? We have high upfront costs. That is, battery prices are still a barrier. And the limited charging infrastructure. When we have limited charging infrastructure, the range anxiety is a concern. It's not when we talk about opportunity, challenges and opportunities, we look forward for only technology inputs, but range anxiety is something which is psychological. So the people who are utilizing the EV vehicles, their health standards concerns is also a priority. The grid capacities and opportunity, that is reduced operating costs save on the fuel. What is the future outlook of heavy electric vehicles and its charging is? There will be a market growth that will be going up till 150 billions by 2030, and infrastructure will be going at an exponential area, and there will be technological advancements. This is an essential for sustainable transportation. Electric vehicles is a mode of transportation which will be demanding sustainability. As I said, the game changer will be the megawatt charging system, which will be up to 1.2 megawatt capacity. And as said, it will be having rapid charging, and it will be impacting the real world by 20% reduced turnarounds. And this is the one which is undergoing field test at Daimler Chrysler truck site. Daimler Chrysler is the one which brought an innovation with respect to the heavy vehicles. The charging infrastructure depot to en route. We can have the depot charging, that is overnight charging, which is low cost solution, and it meets 80% of the charging needs. Or when we talk about the opportunity, we can have en route charging, high power solution, and extends vehicle range. There should be a balance of accessibility and control through public and private infrastructure. Tesla's semi-mega charger offers 1 megawatt power plus charging speeds. The battery technologies is also driving innovations with respect to heavy vehicle chargings. That is, we are moving towards solid-state batteries, lithium-ion advancements, and battery swapping. That swaps in 3 minutes. The grid integration, that is smart charging and vehicle-to-grid integration. We can have smart charging, optimizes charging based on the grid load, adjust to the energy prices. Or we can have vehicle to grid, that is feed energy back to the grid if it is not required. Utilizes the investing. So in Fresno and California, they are stabilizing the grid also. Charging as a service and streamlining operations. So for this one, we need to have maintenance, software and hardware. Charging as a service offers end-to-end solutions. This model reduces upfront cost and simplifies management. Amazon is deploying revan vans with a CAS model, that is charging as a service. It is projected to reach 40 billion by 2028. So charging as a service also gives an avenue for startups, wherein we can recently have seen in one of the contest, wherein the students have developed the locations of, they are developing the GPS route, wherein the charging stations for electric vehicles will be there, so that the range anxiety is minimized. The future scalable, sustainable, smart is autonomous charging, that is robotic solutions for depots, wireless charging, predictive maintenance, that is AI optimizes the charging. So then if we are investing in heavy electric vehicle charging structure, we are moving towards a sustainable future. Thereby, we'll be having the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, the air quality will improve, and the noise pollution is also reduced. So thereby, the exploration of impact that new solutions have a decreasing noise levels in urban settings, benefiting the mental health and overall quality of life. So it's not just about the pollution, but the quality of the life is also improvised. Coming to the societal benefits, it is a job creation. Examination of new employment opportunities generated by green initiatives, including jobs in manufacturing, installation and maintenance sectors, and enhanced public health. Discussion on how environmental improvements can lead to a better public mental health outcomes, reducing the incidence of respiratory illness and other health issues. So these are the avenues wherein we can work not just with the EV vehicle technology development, but it opens up more avenues also, like the job creation for the researchers, avenues about studying the impact studies, how it can enhance the public health. All these things are there. Thank you. I hope I could justify my topic about heavy electric vehicles and the trends in its charging. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Madam, thank you so much, ma'am. Given the trends in heavy EV and EV charging, it was nice that you picturized with the datas. And thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite Dr. D. Lakshmi, ma'am, from Amit University, and Dr. Padmasani, ma'am, to give the trends in EV batteries and industry. Team Davish, you are ready for introduction. You can introduce.
Sir, for the introduction of Lakshmi ma'am, I invite Hari Prasad from St. Joseph College of Engineering. Hari, over to you.
A pleasant good evening to everyone present here. And I'm here to introduce Dr. D. Lakshmi is presently working as a professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, AMET, Chennai. She received her Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics from the University of Madras in 1999 and her Master's in Power System Engineering from BSc Crescent Engineering College, Anna University, Chennai. And she also received a doctoral degree from Anna University in March 2018. Having 24 years of teaching experience, she started a teaching career as a lecturer in 1999, promoted as assistant professor, senior assistant professor, and associate professor. She has guided more than 30 UG students, 15 PG students, and 7 research scholars, where 2 research scholars have completed. She has authored 14 book chapters and 7 books, authored 55 plus scientific papers in SCI and Scopus indexed journals, nearly 60 national level and international level conference proceedings, and has received the Best Paper Award from the INTI University Malaysia and ESN publications. She organized many national conference and faculty development programs. She received funds from various agency professionals like bodies like IET, IEI, and AICTE ATEL for conducting workshops, seminars, and FDPs. She was a keynote speaker in World Book of Record, London, where longest 150-hour conference are held. Received Senior Educator Award in 10th National Teacher Day Award 2019 and NFED Association in Coimbatore. And Dr. Radhakrishnan award from ESN publication on 5th September 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. She received Best Teacher and Research Award from AMET in 2022, 2023, and in 24. She is a life member professional bodies such as IEEE, IEI, IAN, ENG, and INSE, and acting as a reviewer for reputed journals. She is a star organizer in IGEN ENERGATHON 2023 and 24 marathon, a new world record on longest conference. Her areas of interest are loaded frequency control, deregulated power system, power quality, power system dynamics, renewable energy system, and microgrid. And over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
I thank Ramesh sir for giving me an opportunity and also Hari Prasad for giving me a brief introduction about myself. Let me share my screen. Whether my screen is visible?
Yes, madam, is it visible?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you. Okay, I am Dr. Lakshmi. I am presently working as a professor in Triple department and acting as a director Center for Academic Research in Amit deemed to be university, and also acting as a head IGEN NCA club. My topic is trends in, I have to consolidate the trends in electric vehicle batteries. So the keynote points of this report is the Global EV Outlook 2024 was published by the International Energy Agency, which presents an in-depth analysis of global electric vehicle landscape. It highlights that EV sales continued to surge in 2023, surpassing 14 million units, with China, Europe, and US leading the global adoption. The global battery demand exceeded 750 gigawatt hours, which is driven mainly predominantly by the making use of electric cars. This report also explores the key trends in battery chemistry, critical mineral demand, and the manufacturing capacities, which includes the rates of LFP and sodium-ion technologies. The price declines and innovation in design, for example, cell-to-pack, and the regional trade shifts are shaping the industry policy frameworks, venture capital flows, and emerging markets role, which are also discussed in this report. The outlook will emphasize the need for secure supply chain, technological innovation, and global cooperation to meet the sustainable and electrification goal. So, global EV market trends. The electric vehicle sales grew significantly mainly in 2020. So if you see the graph from 2017 to 2023, there is a drastic growth in 2023 with US and Europe, in which the US and Europe are leading in the growth rate. The global EV sales surged mainly in 2023 because of the electric cars, which are mainly used by the consumers. Over 14 million EVs sold in 2023, 18% are global car sales. The China is leading in the total volume, and the US and Europe are slowly racing towards the fastest growth. So the graph shows how graphically we are racing, and this shows what are all the vehicles which we are used. The battery demand and overview. The battery demand crossed some 50 gigawatt hour, mainly fueled by the rapid growth of electric car adoption. As I already told, the global EV battery demand has reached 750 gigawatt in 2023. That is up to 40% from 2022. And EV, of course, for 95% of this energy demand increased only because of the EV usage. The fastest market growth is in the countries are USA and in Europe it is 40%, and in China it is 35%. So the regional battery demand, the China is leading the battery demand, followed by Europe and US are coming. In other regions, it is accelerating. China is continuously leading in battery demand, followed by Europe and US. The rise in extended range electric vehicle is electric motor and small IC engine for recharging. The real world electric range is 150 kilometers. The gaining market share in China's PHV segment. The rise of PHV and ERV are the China's EV market shows an increased PHV and ERV sales, which is extending the vehicle range. Plugging in hybrid and extended range EV gain the popularity mainly, especially in China, and for its extended driving range. The critical mineral demand, there is a material used for the batteries are lithium, cobalt, nickel are continuously used, which is used for the battery production. These minerals, mainly lithium, cobalt, nickel, are essentially for battery production. So because of that, the demand also continues to increase. So the battery supply status is, despite the demand growth, one side we are seeing how the demand is mainly increasing is because of the electric vehicle usage, and for that electric vehicle usage, again, the battery usage comes into role. So that the mineral usage is going to be considered. So the demand, despite of demand growth, the mineral supply exceeds the demand, easing the pressure on prices. The current mineral supply is sufficient to meet the demand, which has helped to stabilize or reduce the prices, or as shown here, lithium 150, 140, which is 80% for a battery, and it is cobalt, which is mainly used in 70% of battery. Nickel, it is 10%. The sodium ion battery mainly reduces the resilience and the critical minerals like lithium. The sodium ion batteries are gaining the attention as an alternative solution for lithium ion and reducing the dependency of scarcity materials. The global battery production in battery manufacturing is mainly concerned in China, Europe, and US, with a notable import resilience. The battery manufacturing is regionally concentrated in China, which is mainly dominating, followed by it, Europe and US are following. So 750 plus gigawatt hour battery demand is being achieved in 2023. Shifted towards lithium ion phosphate batteries are taking place in China, and NMS still dominates the premium and Western markets. The sodium ion technology is emerging as a cost-effective alternative when compared to others. So this is a graph showed the for the battery chemistry by region. So LFP dominates in China, and there is which NMC batteries are more commonly used in Europe and US. So battery chemistry varies from region to region. So here in China, we can see how the battery chemistry, and because of that battery cell, the EV production and the EV registration in China, in Europe, North America, finally Korea and Japan are shown here. So the overcapacity in China, China's battery manufacturing operates at below capacity, leading to decreased margin. So despite of growth, China's battery capacity is exceeding the demand, creating a competitive pressure and lowering the profit. So the battery price is being dropped. Battery pack prices fell by nearly 14% in 2023 because of stabilizing the mineral prices. Battery pack prices have been dropped to 14%. That is I told. The chemistry innovation, cell to pack and cell to chassis design increases the energy density. Thereby, we can reduce the cost. Innovative battery design like cell to pack and cell to chassis enhance the energy density. So regional price variation. So battery production remains cheapest in China because of the integrated supply chain. The production cost is very significantly being verified in China because of the scaled and localized supply chain. Where if you see in these three countries, in China, largest EV and battery producer and exporter. In Europe, they are focusing mainly on sustainable sourcing and regional manufacturing. Whereas if you go for US, they are gaining ground through Inflation Reduction Act incentive. So LFP growth and Marco role, LFP batteries now dominating the global supply, and Marco emerges as a new investment hub for battery material investment. And the sodium ion expansion technology gains attraction towards the battery material, which is led by China with a global pilot project underway. The sodium ion batteries are entering the market through pilot projects, which is mainly led by the Chinese companies. The battery material breakdown. So we have studied about the different battery material. The material used will be having different types of chemistry. So LFP uses iron and phosphate. NMC uses nickel and cobalt. So different battery chemistries utilize various materials. So LFP uses more abundant material, while NMC will be using depending upon the critical minerals. And next, we shall move on to supply chain and manufacturing. Over capacity in battery manufacturing, especially mainly in China. China accounts for more than 75% of global battery production capacity, but in 2023, it is less than 40% of the capacity has been utilized. Over capacity has driven down battery prices, but it is leading to tighter profit margin for the manufacturers. This competitive pressure is forcing the consolidation and innovation in production techniques. Next point to be discussed is global supply chain dependence. Here also China is dominating the upstream and midstream battery supply chain. 60 to 70% of lithium, cobalt, graphite processing, and 80% of cathode and ion production. And where next is Europe and US country. We are heavily on imported components and material. Especially they are taking it from China and Southeast Asia. So from this information, we need a diversified and resilient supply chain for critical materials. So raising investments in Morocco, India, and Indonesia, and Vietnam. So global EV trade flow. The China is the largest EV and battery exporter, as we have seen from the previous slides, and Europe and the US are highly on importing. The China is the largest exporter of EV and battery, while these remaining countries are importers. So in this graph, we can see how the action is taking place. So venture capital and innovation investment trends. The venture capital funding for EV and battery startups dipped in 2023, but remains above the pre-pandemic level. The venture capital in 2023 declined, but stayed above the pre-pandemic level, indicating that continuous industry interest. So VC for EV and battery startups dipped in. So major funding are the fast charging technology, sodium ion redox flow batteries, and critical mineral extraction. So this is a cumulative venture capital investment by technology. By here we can see the countries' names, and this is by technologies from 2018 to 2023. Next, we shall move on to startup investment geography. From starting from the first slide, we are seeing the China leads EV startup funding, and the US dominates battery VC investments, and China is. So the policy and the future outlook, growth hinges on innovation, secure supply chain, and the global cooperation in production and policy. The future of EV depends on the continued innovation, robust supply chain, and global policy alignment. The government support and policy mandates remain vital. The road to 2030 requires.
You can make it fast and conclude, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Global, yes, sir. Going to finish, sir. Global cooperation, standardization, and inclusive growth. So let us move on to the conclusion. So far we have studied what are the things given in the report. Let me consolidate it. The electric vehicle industry is entering into a new phase of maturity, marked by rapid growth, technological innovation, and global scale. As EV adoption expands beyond early market, challenges such as critical mineral sourcing, regional and manufacturing disparities, and prior competitive must be addressed. And advances in the battery chemistry, particularly the rise of LFP and sodium ion technologies, are making EV more accessible and sustainable. Despite market volatility, EV remains central to decarbonizing transport and achieving global climate goals. Continued policy support, private investment, supply chain resilience will be the key for accelerating the transition to clean mobility to all. So as in the end, as a conclusion, as we transition towards a cleaner mobile future, the surge in battery demand also tests our supply chain resilience. Innovations like sodium ion batteries are not just cost-saving alternative, and they are leap towards the energy equity. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I think I have covered the entire content. Thank you.
Madam, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I would like to invite Padma Sani, ma'am. So let our team will introduce, ma'am.
So greetings, this is Gabriel, and I'd like to, so am I audible first?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now we have Dr. R.K. Padmashini. She is an assistant professor of Academy of Maritime Education and Training located in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. She is having 12 years of teaching. She joined AMET University in 2018 and working as an assistant professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Her areas of interest are speed control of electrical systems, propulsion systems, control systems. Her education qualifications: she did her PhD in renewable energy system in 2024, master's in power electronics and drives in 2008, and her bachelor's in electrical and electronics engineering in 2005. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a good introduction. Sir, Shall I share my screen? So thank you for giving an opportunity to present in this pre-conference one. So here I am going to present the Global EV Outlook to 2024 report, moving towards increased affordability.
Ma'am, you can press F5, ma'am, full view so that it will come. Press F5 button, or you can go to that present.
So I'm in the slide presentation mode only, sir.
But it is not completely viewable. Davis,
Ma'am, share screen. Slideshow
go
போங்க
to
ma'am.
slideshow, ma'am.
Is it okay, sir?
No, ma'am, it is not shared, ma'am. Again, you have to share.
Ma'am, your screen is not shared.
Now, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. But full screen, it's not coming, ma'am. Put it in slideshow.
First make the slideshow, madam, then share the screen of the slideshow.
Shall I share, ma'am?
You can share, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Next slide.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Dr. R.K. Batmashini, working as assistant professor in the Department of EEE. I am here to present the report of Global EV Outlook 2024, moving towards increased affordability in the area trends in the electric vehicle. The next slide. Can you move on? The trends in the electric vehicle industry. Since 2019, the stocks of EV companies, including the vehicle and battery manufacturers and companies involved in the extraction of processing of battery metals, have consistently outperformed the general stock markets, major traditional car makers, and other segments of clean technology. So return of investment has increased more over the 2019 to 23 period for these companies than it has for others in the relative terms. The combined market capitalization of pure play EV makers boomed from USD 100 million in 2022, USD 1 trillion at the end of 2023, with a peak over USD 1.6 trillion at the end of 2021, though this trend was primarily driven by Tesla. So as already we saw, the China is the leading market of EV. So because of the heavy competition, US and China are competing to prove their EV technology. The market capitalization of battery makers and battery metal companies also increased significantly over the same period. Behind this overall upward trend, however, there has been significant volatility, supply chain disruptions, and battery metal price fluctuations, notably in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as well as increasing competition. Price was among OEMs and expectations of slower relative annual growth as major EV markets mature and of possible consolidations are having an important downward impact on investor confidence and EV stocks. So next slide, ma. Next slide.
Davis.
Davis.
Ma'am, you can continue with.
So in 2022, BYD, which is the leading company in China, has already overtaken Tesla as the world's best-selling EV company when accounting for plug-in hybrid cars. In the second half of 2023, BYD also became the world's best-selling battery electric car company, counting both BEV and PHEV models. BYD's share of global electrical markets was just over 20%. In China, BYD also became the top selling car company with over 2.4 million new registration, or 11% of the domestic market, ahead of the Volkswagen, which had been China's best selling brand for over 15 years. So we can see BYD becomes the top level when compared to, because Volkswagen was the leading company in China for the previous 15 years. That was completely down by this BYD production. BYD's worldwide sales exceeded 3 million, making it one of the world's top 10 car sellers, because of China is exporting its all the EV manufacturing cars. So next slide, ma. In China, since the end of 2022, greater competition among front runners has led electric car prices to fall quickly. The price of compact electric cars and SUVs dropped by up to 10% in 2023 relative to 2022, because to achieve the market, all the electric car company, production company, manufacturing company reduced the electric car price. In the first quarter of 2024, Tesla once again slashed prices by up to 6%, or CNY. This is the Chinese rupees 15,000 for its models 3 and Y, forcing competitors to follow by squeezing margins. BYD proceeded with a 10 to 20% cut on model prices, such as CNY 10,000 reduction on its flagship Queen Plus Xpeng, with a CNY 20,000 cut on its G6 series, and the GM SAIC Wuling joint venture with the CNY 6,000 cut on its Swing Sing sedan model. Next slide, ma. So from the previous slide, so what we can understood is, so to fix the market, what the manufacturers did means all the manufacturers reduce the prices. So Tesla, the higher end models and the greater profits per car sold around $10,000 to $15,000 per electric car sold in the year 2022 to 2023, against around $6,000 for BYD, which also explains why Tesla's market value in 2023 remained 7 times higher than that of BYD. Till 2020-21, BYD was the largest market selling of that electric cars, but Tesla 2022 to 2023, Tesla becomes the first manufacturer to sell its electric car. BYD's preferred strategy has been to sell cheaper models and protect margins by developing in-house battery supply chains. Other Chinese makers are now actively seeking to catch up by announcing new models. So what we understood from the report is, BYDs, what they are doing means to reduce the car prices. They are producing all the parts in the in-house manufacturing unit. For example, Xpeng announced new models for 2024 priced at around CNY 1 lakh to 1,50,000 for more affordable than the premium models typically priced in the range of CNY 3 lakhs. So seeing that one, Xpeng also reduced the cost of the electric vehicle. However, just 1/3 of Chinese car makers, example Li Auto, BYD, Geely, their sales targets in 2023, while others fell short for the second straight year. So when BYD entered the market, all the other car manufacturers in China, they fell short for selling their electric vehicle. So next slide. So this is the graphical representation showing the electric car sales in Europe as well as in the United States. So there is a drastic reduction of car sales starting from 2015 to 2023. Next slide, ma. Because of why there is a reduction means all the strategies are followed by China. So they are producing their battery, everything in-house and reducing the prices so that
You can make it fast and conclude, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Competition is also getting tougher outside China. In the United States, Tesla accounted for over 45% of all battery electric cars ever sold as of 2023. So Tesla think a way to sell its car in a good manner compared with the BYD. So in this period, the Hyundai and as well as Kia overtook GM and Ford in 2023 and now accounts for 8% of US electric car sales, second only to Tesla. The Hyundai and Kia plans to start manufacturing operation at Georgia-based factory in 2024, qualifying for IRA benefits. European car makers accounted for 25% of the US electric car sales, their highest share since 2017, led by Stellantis. This is another one car manufacturer in China. So next slide, ma'am. So about 15% of BMW sales were electric, meeting its 2023 sales target. And in the same year, the company went on record as saying that a tipping point for ICE cars had been reached and the EVs would lead future growth. The other US car makers accounted for 15% of electric car sales, half their share back in 2015 to 2017 period. And the General Motors as well as the Ford announced a step back from their earlier sales objectives. So they reduced their sales objective. In Europe, the share of electric car sales by local car makers has been falling since 2015. In 2023, European car makers accounted for 60% of electric car sales in the region compared to over 80% in 2015. So because of Chinese EV vehicle manufacturing strategy, in Europe as well as US, the car sales declined. And also due to the
Ma'am, please conclude, ma'am, so that.
Next slide, mother. Go to the conclusion slide. So this is the conclusion. The global EV outlook 2024 highlights the rapid acceleration of the electric vehicle industry, driven by strong policy support, technological advancements, and growing consumer demand. And government are seeking for more startups to enhance the EV manufacturing. Key trends such as increased EV adoption, expanded charging infrastructure, declining battery costs, and rising investment in sustainable mobility signal a transformative shift in the global transportation. However, challenges like supply chain resilience, grid integration, and equitable access must be addressed to ensure a sustainable and inclusive transition. Overall, the 2024 outlook paints a promising picture for the EV ecosystem, underscoring its critical role in the global clean energy future. So, all the car manufacturers are facing a lot of competition to prove their own EV manufacturing. So, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Dr. B. Barnika from BS Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. Can I have a quick introduction by our team? Make it fast. Barnika, ma'am.
Yes,
Team,
myself.
please introduce Barnika.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
So, okay, myself Jaya from St. Joseph's College of Engineering. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Baranika V, an accomplished academic and researcher in the field of electricals and electronics engineering. Dr. Baranika V received her Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electricals and Electronics Engineering in 2010, followed by a Master's degree in Power Electronics and Drives in 2012. She completed her PhD at BS Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology in 2023. She is currently serving as an assistant professor, senior grade, in the Department of EEE at BS Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. With 12 years of teaching experience, she has built a strong academic and professional profile. Her research interests include solar PV systems, special electrical machines, power electronics, and industrial automation. Adding to her achievements, she has also published a patent in 2023 titled Self-Healing Power Distribution Network with Default Detection and Correction, showcasing her innovative approach to solving real problems in electrical power systems. Dr. Baranika V stands as an inspiration through her dedication to education, research, and technological advancements. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, IGEN team, for introducing me. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Screen is visible, sir? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ramesh, sir, for the opportunity for giving me to present in the pre-conference. So today my topic is outlook for electric vehicle charging infrastructure under a Global EV Outlook 2024 by International Energy Agency. So when we talk about the outlook for electric vehicle charging infrastructure, we need to concentrate on two things. One is the light duty vehicle charging and heavy duty electric vehicle charging. So the public charging could increase sixfold by 2035, helping the mass market consumers switch to electric. And the share of public charging is expected to grow in the next decade. So most of the charging will take place at home. And we have more buses and trucks that are electrified, and it will be increasing to 20-fold by 2035. And infrastructure also must support the power levels to accommodate both the categories efficiently, and proper zoning and grid access are critical. So while we come to light vehicle charging, and we are having, is it disturbing, sir? This fun?
No, ma'am, it's clear, ma'am.
It's clear? Okay. So when we talk about light duty vehicle charging, currently we are having level 2 or fast DC charges for urban use. And we need to have widespread availability in our areas, like in our homes, like that. And we are having ultra fast high power charging for heavy duty vehicles. So let us see the key insights for light duty vehicle charging infrastructure. So 90% of the EV drivers had a home charging access in UK by 2021. And in India in 2023 status, we are having only 55% access to the home charges. And we are in need of more number of home charging options, which will increase the daily usability and also the long-term confidence in our electric vehicles. So when we are comparing with the slow versus the fast chargers, so this impacts the critical for long distance EV travel, and it also affects the overall consumers' willingness to switch. So while we are having a higher charging speed, then only we can rely on the reliability and we have the trust and convenience to shift over the electric vehicles. And the major key factor is the investment, that is in interoperability and a smart investment. So this ensures the compatibility along the different EV brands, like we need to have the ports which is compatible, and also the voltage ranges which is compatible for charges. So as to get a wider consumer base, we need to have a simplified charging process, and that and all will be achieved by only by using a smart investment to have the charge. So this chart illustrates the projected growth in the global stock and also with respect to the global capacity. So this is discussed in terms of steps, which is stated policy scenario, and also APS, announced pledges scenario. So this is plotted with respect to the private homes, private others, public slow, and public fast charges. So in 2023, you can see there is only 50 million charging ports, and the major contribution is being the private home charges. And in 2030, you can see this number is raised to 200 millions, and in 2035 it is raised to between 400 by steps policy and near to 500 by APS policy. And you have based on the capacity, which is measured in terawatts, the trend is equally impressive. So in 2023, we are having only less than 1 terawatts in 2023, but in 2035, we are having steps in APS policy, and APS is going beyond 4 terawatts, and by steps, which is near to 4.5. So the major contribution here in by steps and APS is based on the public fast charging. So we need to give more of public fast charging so as to reach our expected target. So next, coming to number of public light duty vehicle chargers installed by region wise. So China, Europe, US, Japan, India, and rest of the world. So we can see in 2023, China led the world in both fast and also in slow charges deployment. In 2030, you can see there is further improvement in the number of charges significantly across all the regions. So you can see the variations in the other countries also, other than China. So in 2035, you can see significant growth in steps and APS, which is nearly reaching around 10 million. So the global growth needs to be balanced by strong contributions from Europe, US, India, and also from the rest of the world. So the electricity delivered to the electric light duty vehicles by the charger type. So what type of charger is used, whether it is private home or private others or public fast. So based on this, we are having the scenario ranging from 2023 to 2035. So by 2030, you can see you are having public chargers. So private home charging throughout the years from starting from 23 to 2035 remains the same. But under 2035, you can see approximately 40% of the contribution goes to private other. That is like, example, you have a private apartment where you have a public booth, or you have a public slow charges and public fast charges. So this contributes the majority of the things. So this reflects the growth and investment in accessible high power public charging to raise the electric demand. So next, coming to the heavy duty vehicle charge. So heavy duty vehicle charging means we have long haul electrical trucks, you have electric buses. So these comes under this. So as to have this type of HDV vehicle charging, we need to deploy large amounts of megawatt charging systems. And also, if we are going for megawatt charging systems, we need to depend on the placement of the infrastructure. So where we are going to place it, and whether we are going to integrate with the grid, and how we are going to manage the grid demands. So we need some certain standardizations and interoperability for doing these things. So we need to concentrate on the policy support and also on the investments. So when we talk about HDV charging, so we have so much characteristics, like we have the option to have overnight depot charging. So this will be convenient for the stationary vehicles, which is ideal for fleets or with short distance and predictable routes. And it can be for common city buses and urban delivery vehicles. So large power charging benefits are for extended charging time. So if you want to go with a reduction in the infrastructure cost, so you can go with one charger per vehicle. And then opportunity charging. So like example for bus line ends, loading docks. So in those places with regular fleet operations, so as to reduce our downtimes, we can give an opportunity charging. And the other one, we can go up with this, the end route fast charging. So which may be implemented for long distance travel, which again complements the depot charging. And also we have some emerging alternatives like battery swapping, which is growing up in China, and we have electrical road systems. And these are all not fully integrated into the planning, but these are all the things which we can plan. And next is statistical data, which gives you about electric duty vehicle charges stock and capacity as stated by steps and APS. So this depicts the bus depot and bus opportunity, and also truck depot and the truck opportunity. So by 2035, the expansion is very dramatic. So if you take 2023, so the chances for the buses and trucks are very less. In terms of millions, it is very less than 2 millions. And majority is being concentrated by the depot charging. But looking ahead to 2030, the projections under state policies, that is the stated policy scenario, shows a notable increase reaching around 5 million charges. While in the APS scenario, it is even high, which is near to 7 millions. So this growth is also driven in 2035, which is more dramatic, and you can see
Barnika ma'am, little fast and conclude ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So in 2035, it is very drastic and it reaches up to 20 million in APS policy and in 15 million in STEPS policy. The same goes with the capacity in gigawatts. In 2023, it is less, and in 2035, we can have a drastic improvement, and also the truck opportunities are well improved in 2035. So next is the case study, which depicts the different scenarios of charging under 4 cases. In case 1, you have a heavy duty truck is taken and it is charged with night charging. So a 50 kilowatt charging point is used, and we can see in daytime there is no charging duration, and the nights alone it is charged. In case 2, it is a 50-50 preference. So in 50-50 preference, we are using a 150 kilowatt charger. So night charging is there, and depots we can have overnight. Other than the overnight depots, we can have the depots wherein you can charge during the printing. And then the case 3 and case 3 is considered for 2 different watts, that is 350 and 1 megawatts. So under 350 kilowatts are charging. So during the mid duration, you can have a spike in the demand. You can see. And in 1 megawatt charging, so the power is increased to 1 megawatts, and that also afternoon peak times, we have a highest demand. So this shows the highest demand among all the 4 cases. So this is also something related to what we have seen in the previous slide, just case 1, case 2, and case 3 with respect to that. So this is the case scenario with respect to China, European Union, and United States. So here we just take about the net load alone. So net load is that we have the electricity demand. So minus what we are having into our renewable integration, that is solar PV and wind integration. So here, if US, you can see you have the industrial charges, in building charges, and also heating, cooling, and transport. So when we talk about the net load capacity, so during mid time duration, because of so high solar integration, our demand is going in the negative. So in China also we have a slight dip, and in European Union also we have a slight dip, and US because of higher integration, we can have a more dip in all the 4 cases, and you have evening sharp peaks, which is due to the cooling and truck charge. So the net load we need to compensate based on the integration of PVs. So this is another one case study which shows the different truck loading charge and also how much it is shared for the total peak load. So as per European Union, you can see in case 3, 350 kilowatts is a bit high, and in case 3 in the United States also it's a bit high. So this will we need to have an impact on truck electrification based on the grid demand, and also we need to go for smart charging strategies. So this is the very important slide which shows the 50% stock share and also 90% of the stock share. So if 50% of the vehicles are made electric, and that is heavy duty vehicles are made electric, so the case 1 which has higher charging, so that has more demand. So that infrastructure we need to develop. And also if 90% of the EVs are on the road, that is heavy duty loads are on the road means, then also the case 3, 1 megawatt, which is prone for intense spike, and also we have a higher demand, which is 10 to for a smaller duration. So that is there. But if in case of case 1, which is for overnight charging, the graph remains the same when we have 50%
can you fast conclude, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm concluding. In case 1, and also in 90% stock share also, we are having a moderate changes alone only in respect to overnight charging. So the peak demand needs you have to concentrate. So the way forward is we need to plan strategically to scale the EV charging across segments, and use smart grids and flexible tariffs to reduce the strain on the grids. So we have to innovate with battery storage and renewable integration. We have to share the data so as to enhance our rollout, integrate local solutions, and finally, sustainable infrastructure will lead to a sustainable transport. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
Now
much.
I'd like to invite Dr. Selvaraj from Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute to provide the essence on the battery. Now, I request our team to introduce Selvaraj.
This is Kapisha from St. Joseph College of Engineering. I'm happy to introduce Dr. P. Selvaraj, obtained BE in Electrical and Electronic Engineering in 2000 from Manonmaniam Sundarnar University, Tamil Nadu, ME in Power Electronics and Drives in 2005 from Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, received a PhD in Electrical Engineering in 2018 from Anna University, Chennai. He has 19 years of teaching experience in engineering colleges. He has completed 6 NPTEL courses. He has published more than 15 research articles in reputed journals. He has published 5 patents. He received grant rupees 9.86 lakhs from AE under scheme in 2022. Research area includes renewable energy, power electronics. Currently working as professor of EEE at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Chennai. Thank you.
Selvaraj, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma, audible, ma.
Sorry for the internet reaction. This is Kapisha from St. Joseph College of Engineering. I'm happy to introduce Dr. P. Selvaraj, obtained BE in Electrical and Electronic Engineering in 2000 from Manonmaniam Sundarnaran University, Tamil Nadu, ME in Power Electronics and Drives in 2005 from Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, received a PhD in Electrical Engineering in 2018 from Anna University, Chennai. He has 19 years of teaching experience in engineering college. He has completed 6 NPTEL courses. He has published more than 15 research articles in reputed journals. He has published 5 patents. He received grant rupees 9.86 lakhs from AICTE under MODROP scheme in 2022. His research areas include renewable energy, power electronics. Currently working as professor of EEE at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Chennai.
Selvaraj, sir, you can present, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm opening the slide.
Sir?
Selvaraj sir disconnected irkara?
Irukkaru ma'am avaru.
Ma'am, I think sir is having a network issue now.
Madam, I'm opening the slide. Actually.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if you are unable to open means our volunteers will open, sir. Whether okay.
Okay, madam. Davis, you can open. Actually, some issues here.
So please share it one more time in the group, sir.
So it's already available in the group, ENERGATHON.
Okay, sir.
So they have to first, sir, please share one more time, sir. They will take it.
Okay, sure.
Lakshmi ma'am, shall I share one? Lakshmi ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
general sir, no, and MGO. Sir, general sir, shall I share the screen, sir?
Student share பண்ண சொன்னாரு மேம், வாலண்டியர்ஸ் ஷேர் பண்ண சொன்னாரு. சார்?
Yes, ma'am. I shared actually.
Davis?
Ma'am, I think someone else is also sharing.
Who is sharing the screen, ma'am? Please make it fast. Sarah shared in the group. Davis, you take it and start giving presentation.
1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am, can we proceed with the next speaker so that I will have some time we can.
We see me that the report is closing. From next speaker,
just a minute.
Yeah, he could speak, I guess. Lakshmi ma'am, our பேசுறார் பாருங்க.
Sir, try to finish by 5 minutes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Ma, Davis, start sharing.
Sarah has started to share. Sarah is sharing. Sir, your screen is visible, sir.
Is it visible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So sorry for the interruptions. So good evening, one and all present here. First of all, I thank Dr. El Ramesh sir for giving me the opportunity to present the outlook for battery energy demand and emissions reduction for the IGEN ENERGATHON 2025 pre-conference. I'm going to present the, first of all, battery and energy demand, then the emission reductions. So this is the graphical representation for the battery demand for electrical vehicles by the two mode and region 2023 and 2035. So for comparison, there are two options taken. One is by mode. So mode wise means there are whether it's a two-wheeler or three-wheeler, whether light drive vehicle, bus, track. Another one mode by region, country wise. So this is a graphical representation. So from this graphical representation, we learned the following points, important points. So I'm going to brief that points now. So first point, the rapid growth in battery demand. So EV battery demand is projected to increase significantly, especially under the net zero and accelerated policy scenario with demand in 2035 reaching up to 12 times at 2023 level. So before that, they have taken three scenarios. First one is the stated scenario policy, stated policy scenario. Next one, announced policy scenario. Second point is the car drives demand, but share declines. So most of the people using the car or vans only. So that batteries demanded more comparing with the trucks and other heavy vehicles. So they reach 90% in 23, but it reduced to 75% in 2035 due to the faster growth of other vehicle segments. Then there is more demand in other EV types. So battery demand from non-car EVs such as two-wheeler and three-wheelers, buses and trucks, it's growing rapidly up to 20-fold by 2035 due to the offering differing battery sizes and rising adoption, particularly in emerging economics. Fourth one, global expansion of demand. So first 3 points explained about the vehicle type, whether it's a two-wheeler or three-wheeler. Next one, across the globe. So battery demand is spreading beyond the traditional market, particularly in the China, Europe, US. So in comparing with other countries like India, Southeast Asia, and South America, and Japan, accounting for growth in share, reaching 30% by 2035.
Sir, you can make it fast and conclude.
As per the announced policy scenario. So the last point observed from the graphical represents stationary storage. So battery use for stationary storage is also rising, contributing an additional 400 to 500 gigawatt hour of demand by 2030, which represent 12% of the EV battery demand that year. So this graph shows the battery production relationship in the 2023 and 2030. So here, comparing with these two graphs, China contributes the more production in the battery, particularly more than 5,000 gigawatt hour. So the other country, United States and European, so rest of the world less in comparing with China. We observe the following points from this graphical representation. First one, the rapid growth in battery production. So battery manufacturing reached 2.5 terawatt hour in 2023 with 780 gigawatt hour added in 2022. So more gigawatt hour record. So making a 25% plus increase over year. Second point, projected capacity by 2030. If all the current plans are completed, that is, we are using stated policy scenario and announced policy scenario, net zero emission by 2050. If you implement all the scenario, the global battery manufacturing capacity could exceed 9 terawatt hour by 2030, with 70% already operational and committed. So regional capacity caps. South America lacks significant announced battery production by 2030, and India's plans would only meet to 25% of its announced policy scenario demand, raising concern about import dependence and decarbonization goals. So next, our important agenda, our aim is to reduce the CO2 emission. That's why we are moving to the EV-based vehicle. So this graph show how much carbon CO2 emission reduced. So by implementing three scenarios, we observed the following 5 points. Significant emission reduction from the electrification. Actually, by omitting that fossil fuel, petrol, diesel vehicle, by implementing the battery operated vehicle.
Sir, you can make it conclude, sir. Make it fast and conclude the.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So with over 2 gigaton carbon emissions avoided, so power sector decarbonization amplifies the gains. Then, so still, if we embrace the more policy, still gap exists between the reducing the carbon at around 40%. So light duty vehicles load emission cuts. So the main vehicles are vans and cars. So contributing 80% of the net savings in 2035 in both stated policy scenario and announced policy scenario compared with net zero emission scenario. So yearly, if we implemented earlier, we can implement earlier, we can reduce the CO2 emission more. So there is a yearly adapter like China's passenger light train and electric 2 and 3 wheelers have already delivered major emission savings. So by 2035, trucks and buses are expected to play a growing role through more policy support is needed for full alignment, net zero emission regards. So with this, I will conclude my topic. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now we come to the conclusion of the EV report. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Lakshmi to take over the session, lead the session for world energy scenario. Welcome, ma'am. You can invite the speakers.
Thank you, sir. And now I invite Dr. T. Anuradha, ma'am, for outlining the report about World Energy Outlook 2024. She is going to review about overview and key findings. Let me say a few words about World Energy Outlook. It presents a comprehensive analysis of the global energy landscape, which heightened geopolitical tensions, market volatility, and accelerating clean energy transitions. It highlights that while fossil fuel demand is set to peak before 2030, clean energy technologies, especially solar, wind, EV, and batteries, are entering into the energy system at unpredicted rates. However, the global energy security remains fragile due to the conflicts, supply chain risk, and concentrated clean tech manufacturing. These scenarios sets apps and exploring the divergent future based on the current policy, announced pledges, and net zero targets. The report stresses that clean energy momentum is strong, but unenough and faster investment in developing economy is a virtual for inevitable, secure, and sustainable transition. With its brief introduction about this report, I now call upon Dr. T. Anuradha ma'am and the team to invite Dr. T. Anuradha ma'am. Davis?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. T. Anuradha is currently working as the professor and head of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at KCG College of Technology, Chennai. Dr. T. Anuradha has completed her bachelor's in Electrical and Electronic Engineering at Madurai Kamaraj University, India. Received her master's in Power System Engineering and PhD in Faculty of Electrical Engineering from Anna University. He is recognized supervisor of Anna University for guiding PhD. Dr. T. Anuradha has 29 years of experience, which include 20 years of teaching and research experience of 9 years, 9 years of industry experience in engineering consultancy services to multinational petroleum and oil corporations. Her primary research interests are renewable energy systems, power energy systems, power electronics and drives, smart grids, electric vehicles, and other sustainable technologies. She currently focuses on developing eco-friendly, cost-effectively, easily adaptive, advanced power electronic interfaces for hybrid renewable energy systems for rural electrification projects and IoT, AI, ML based control techniques for electric vehicles and smart grid applications. She won many awards and few notable awards she received. She received AIC Lil Betty Award 2022 under the Women Empowerment and Subtheme Self-Defense. Professor Indira Gandhi Parikh Top 50 Women in Education Leader Award by World Education Conference, Best Professor in Electronic Engineering Studies Award by Devang Mehta National Education Award, Eco Activist 2024 by IEI at National Environment Climate Change Forum, TNSC. Being an executive member of the International Wind Empowerment Association, an active work group member of the Smart Grid Forum, ISGF, Ministry of Power Initiative, Dr. Anuradha has organized and worked PICOPI convener coordinator for many AICTE, DST, IET funded projects, faculty development programs, certified short-term training programs, workshops, knowledge enhancement programs, seminars, and mentors. Several innovative projects, smart grid technologies, and solar wind hybrid systems for sustainable rural electrification. He is author and co-authored 85 research papers in IEEE, IET, Springer Elsevier, ISA Transaction, and other referred journal publications, and presented her research works in several leading power and industrial conferences. She has granted 2 Australian patents and 1 German patent, 6 UK patents, 2 Canadian patents, and 4 Indian design patents, and published 21 Indian patents to her credit so far. She also served as the expert review for IEEE Industrial Electronics, IET Power Electronics, IET Renewable Power Generation, IET Intelligent Transport System, Tata McGraw-Hill, and Pearson Education, and contributed as the Technical Advisory Committee member and session chair for many IEEE international conferences. Over to Dr. T. Anuradha.
Thank you, Davis. Hope I'm audible. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, President IGEN, for giving me the opportunity. I welcome you all for the pre-conference 1 of IGEN ENERGATHON 2025 deliberation on International Energy Agency World Energy and Global EV Outlook Report 2024. My topic is World Energy Outlook 2024 Report, Overview and Key Findings. So this is my presentation flow: background, introduction, overview and scenarios, findings and conclusion. The background is, first one, geopolitical turbulence. Escalating conflict in the Middle East and Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine underscore the continued energy security risk that the world faces. Second one, the focus on the energy security. Fragility in today's energy markets is the reminder of the abiding importance of energy security. Third one, focus on clean energy transitions. Clean energy transitions has accelerated sharply in recent years, shaped by government policies and industrial strategies. But there is more near-term uncertainty than usual over how these policies and strategies will evolve. So, introduction. There are 3 interrelated themes for Energy Outlook Report 2024. The first is energy security, that is, how resilience of energy among global disruption. The second relates to the prospects of clean energy transition, which has accelerated rapidly in recent years, but which need to move much faster to meet the climate goals. The third theme is uncertainty. These are due to the elections, policy shifts, tech development, climate risks. Overview and scenarios. Energy Outlook Report includes several sensitivity cases on key factors affecting oil, gas, and electricity demand in stated policy scenario, that is STEPS. Again, so these 7.7 scenarios they are discussing. First scenario, against the backdrop of heightened international tensions, what do today's fractured geopolitics mean for the future of energy? Second one, what do market data and our projection tell us about the prospects for electric mobility? Are electric vehicle sales hitting the speed limits? Third one, electricity demand growth is accelerating, but which factors, including data centers and artificial intelligence, will determine how fast it grows? Fourth one, given the rise in electricity demand, can clean power generation expand fast enough to bring down the emissions in the power sector? Fifth one, there is a wave of new liquefied natural gas, LNG, coming to the market. Where will it go and what will be the implications for gas demand and prices? Sixth one, with hundreds of millions of people remaining without access to the electricity and clean cooking fuels, what will it take to achieve access goal by 2030? Seventh one, how to correct the large imbalance and scale up clean energy investment in emerging market and developing economies. So my fellow speakers will give a detailed report on all the 7 scenarios. So the summary of findings are, in all our scenarios, growth in global energy demand slows thanks to the efficiency gains, electrification, and rapid build-out of renewables. Stated policy scenario STEPS depicts by 2030, nearly every other car sold in the world is electric, although delays in the rollout of charging infrastructure or in policy implementation could lead to a slower growth. Clean energy meets virtually all growth in energy demand in aggregate between 2023 and 2035, leading to an overall peak in demand for all 3 fossil fuels before 2030, although trends vary widely across countries at different stages of economic and energy development. Electricity demand grows much faster than overall energy demand, thanks to existing uses, notably cooling, and new ones such as electric mobility and data centers. Renewables lead the expansion in electricity generation with sufficient speed to meet, in aggregate, all the increases in the demand. Today's solar manufacturing capacity hovers around 1,100 gigawatt per year, potentially allowing for deployment almost 3 times higher than in 2023. the share of clean energy investment in emerging market and developing economies outside of China remains stuck at 15% of the total, even though these economies account for 2/3 of global population and 1/3 of global GDP. A range of new business models and policy push in some countries ensure that an additional 550 million people gain access to clean cooking and nearly 200 million to electricity between 2023 and 2030. This still falls well short of universal access goals. Conclusion: what will it take to achieve energy access goals by 2030? First one, to think of clean energy projects only in terms of their role in tackling climate change is to miss the broader picture. In many cases, clean energy projects also offer the prospect of cheaper energy, efficiency gains, and important co-benefits in terms of air quality, water use, and employment. According to different scenarios, stated policy scenario, current policies will result in slow decline in emissions. Announced pledges scenario, APS says all announced pledges will meet, that is 1.7 degree by 2100 will be met. Net zero emissions by 2050 scenario, that is NZE. According to that, net zero by 2050, that is 1.5 degree pathway still possible. Emission trajectory 2.4 degree in 2100 according to steps, and 1.5 degree according to the NEZ is possible. So the World Energy Outlook 2024 report highlights the choices that can move the energy system in a safer and more sustainable direction. Thank you. My topic is actually overview and findings. So all other speakers are going to explain each point in a very detailed manner. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I invite Kavita, ma'am. Davis, who is going to intro about ma'am?
Myself, ma'am.
Okay.
So, Dr. E. Kavita has started her education journey at Manomaniyam Sundarani University and completed her Master of Science at Manomaniyam Sundarani University and completed her bachelor's degree at Manomaniyam Sundarani University and obtained her doctorate at Dr. M.J. Education Research Institute. She has been working as a lecturer in RVS College of Engineering and Technology from September 2000 to May 2005. And now she is working as a professor in Dr. M.J. Education Research Institute. She's a deputy dean for journals and publications are Dr. MGR and Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. Over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is my PPT visible, Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
A very good evening to one and all present here. So before the start, I would like to thank Dr. Ramesh, sir, President of IGEN, who has given me an opportunity to give my presentation on the topic World Energy Outlook 2024, Setting the Scene and Regional Insights. So with this, with a significant growth in the emerging market and developing nations, more than offsetting reductions in established economies, the total global energy demand increased.
You can make it full view, ma'am. Slide show.
Okay, you can press F5, ma'am. Yes,
okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Now it is for you.
Okay. Yes. So coming to this, for the first one, setting the scene with a significant growth in emerging market and developing nations, more than offsetting reductions in established economies, the total global demand increased by almost 2% in 2023. In 2024, it is anticipated that the clean energy will get about USD 2 trillion in investment, about twice as much as fossil fuels. However, the fossil fuels accounted for 2/3 of the 2023 growth in energy consumption, and carbon dioxide emissions associated with the energy hit a high record. So we can see the energy prices are falling. The recent years, it have been seen that large overall price reductions for many clean energy technologies. First one is a solar panel. It has decreased from 0.74 from 2015 to 0.18 2023. And for wind turbine and battery storage and for EV batteries, we can see the reduction. Next one, the three themes are the first one is the energy security, corresponding to the long-standing core as well as the imperative of the present given escalating risk in the Middle East. The second theme, it relates to the prospects for clean energy transitions, which have accelerated rapidly in the recent years, but which need to move much more faster to meet the climate goals. The third theme is uncertainty, an ever-present factor in any forward-looking analysis, but particularly visible this year. But our outlook includes several sensitivity cases on key factors affecting the oil, gas, electricity demand in the state policy scenario. Steps. Coming to this global energy demand, today's broad trends underscore the urgency of transforming the energy sector, even as they also complicate its achievement in practice. So in the circumstances, the continued momentum and resilience of energy transition is remarkable. Since 2020, the investment in the clean energy technologies and infrastructure has increased by 60%. The amount of capital investment each year to support this clean energy project is now twice the amount invested in this fossil fuels. So this is boosting the contribution that the clean energy makes to the global energy mix, even though the majority of growth in the global energy demand is currently still being met by these fossil fuels. Next comes the three scenarios. The stated policy scenario steps. This scenario provides a sense of the prevailing direction of travel for the energy system based on the detailed assessment of current policy settings. It also explores a number of sensitivity cases related to clean energy deployment, natural gas markets, and electricity demand, and to access the wider implications for energy and emission. Second one is the announced pledge scenario, APS. This scenario outlines a trajectory for the energy sector if all the national energy and climate pledges, including the long-term net zero emission goals, are met on time and in full. Third one is a net zero emission by 2050 scenario. This scenario portrays a pathway in which the energy sector achieves net zero carbon dioxide emission globally by 2050, in line with limited long-term global average temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Next comes the average natural gas line. We can see the retail prices very markedly around the world and differ from wholesale prices, mainly due to the consumption-based government taxes and subsidies. So here there is a large difference between the wholesale prices for fuel and the retail prices paid by the consumers. So the retail prices, they reflect the cost of producing the fuels that end users need and the cost of delivering them. They commonly include the cost of transport, refining, marketing, and distribution, as well as the custom duties, excise duties, excise taxes, value-added taxes, and subsidies, all of which vary between and sometimes within the countries also. So the retail prices are generally higher than the wholesale prices. That is why they do not always move in tandem. For example, the average wholesale natural gas price in Europe fell by 2/3 in 2023, while the average retail prices increased by 14% as measures introduced by government to keep the retail prices from rising significantly during the global energy crisis came to an end in many countries. So retail electricity prices also tends to be less volatile than other retail fuel prices because around half of electricity demand globally is in market with the regulated prices based on the average cost. Coming to the conclusions, the clean energy transition has a strong momentum. Fossil fuels still dominate the energy demand increases. The policy certainty and equitable investment needed for the transition success. Next comes the regional insights. This chapter, it examines the selected regions and countries that collectively account for nearly 90% of world gross domestic product, population, and energy demand. Here, it includes insights from state policy scenario and the announced pledge scenario. In almost all the cases, a further acceleration in the pace of change at country or regional level would be needed to align with the net zero emission by 2050 scenario. Next comes the a lot of states, the regional states. First comes the United States. The energy demand peaked in 2007, steady decline under the STEPS. The electricity demand rises sharply due to EV, data center and industry. Renewable triple by 2035. Coal drops 80%. Oil and gas declined 2030. So emissions down 60% by 2050 in APS. Finally, the world's top oil and gas producer and clean tech manufacturing leader. So this is the key economic and key indicators by country and region. Here it illustrates key metrics, including the energy supply, fossil fuel demand, vehicle sales, industry, energy use, energy intensity relative to GDP, investment, and carbon dioxide emissions. So here the economic data are presented in real terms in the year 2023 US dollar with the power purchasing parity, BBB, rates used in relation to GDP and market exchange rates for the investment. So carbon dioxide emissions refer to net carbon dioxide emission related to the energy and industry sectors. So next comes region is America. The low emissions intensity due to hydro, biofuel, low industrial shares. Solar wind capacity nearly triples by 2035 in steps. Biofuels, the Brazil leads. The region could supply 15% of global biojet fuel. Hydrogen potential wind in Brazil, solar in Chile's Atacama. 1/3 of the global lithium, silver, copper reserves. So net zero pledges unlock the clean tech and the export opportunities. So these are the graphs for the production of biofuel and low emission of hydrogen more than triples to 2050 in steps, and it increases nearly sixfold in APS. So next one is Africa, the fastest growing population by 2050, 4% annual GDP growth to 2030, renewable 80% of new generation to 2030, rooftop solar booming. Here also electricity access to reach 70% by 2030 in steps. Fossil fuel use rising, gas for power and desalination, oil for transport. So comes to the conclusion, the energy transitions are reshaping every region, each within its own pace. Policy, investment, and innovation must align to deliver the net zero. Regions must address equity, resilience, and affordability. Finally, international collaboration and financing are the key to success. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I now call Dr. Sangeeta, ma'am, to discuss about the pathways for energy mix. Davis, who is going to intro, ma'am?
For myself, ma'am.
Okay, continue.
So Dr. S. Sangeeta is an assistant professor in the Department of ECA at College of Engineering, Guindy, Anna University, Chennai. She has received her PhD in Communication System from Anna University 2018. And she has served as an assistant professor at the School of Electronics Engineering, Vellore Institute of Technology. Her research interest encompasses with microwave engineering, antenna design, substrate integrated waveguide technology, reconfigurable antennas, and planar transmission lines. She also has authored various articles and book chapters in reputed journals. In addition to this academic and research responsibilities, she is actively involved in organizing faculty development programs, academy workshops, and sustainability-focused initiatives. And she also involved in coordinating ENERGATHON 2024 under the Institution of Engineering. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, I should thank Ramesh sir, President of IGEN, for giving me the opportunity. So today I'm going to share my insight on the pathway for the energy mix. So here we have a current state and the projected trends in the global energy system. So in 2023, the energy market shows the sign of stabilization. So with the falling gas prices, so which brought an temporary relief to the consumers and economics recovering from the previous energy stocks. So despite this, a global energy demand rose by 2.1%, reflecting the continued economic and population growth. So however, here the demand growth is expected to slow down to 0.7% annually through 2030 under the stated policy scenarios. Due to this improvement is due to widespread in the energy efficiency and the shift towards the electrical technologies in transportation as well as in the buildings. So most of the significant drivers of these electricity demands is the rapid adoption of electric vehicles, that is EVs, along with the explosive growth of digital infrastructures such as data centers. So notably in this, China's electricity demand alone is set to outpace that of all advanced economics like combined by 2030. So highlighting its central role in shaping this global energy trends. So although we have fossil fuels which remains dominant, which is compromising like 80% of global energy mix in 2023. So their influence is expected to decline, like with a peak projected by the end of this decade. And the clean energy technologies, especially like solar, wind power, are expanding at a faster rate than the energy demand. So thereby we can reduce the share of the fossil fuels in the electricity generation. So moreover, like a group of 7 critical clean technologies, such as mentioned, solar PV and wind, nuclear, EVs, heat pumps, hydrogens, and carbon capture, so are projected to deliver like 70% of CO2 emission reductions. So which is needed by 2050 under the net zero emission scenario. So this transformation, however, it depends upon the substantial and sustainable investment which is required in the clean energy infrastructures and the corresponding innovation. So these are the global energy trends, and here it focuses on global total energy supply in 2050. So this slide shows about a set of graphical illustrations which is provided. So how you can here different energy resources like fossil fuel and nuclear and renewable. So nuclear renewable have contributed to the global energy supply over the time. So however, it is expected to evolve through 2050 and under the various scenarios like steps, announced pledge scenario, and net zero emission. So in the step scenario, the existing policies which is going to let the growth in renewable, but still it is going to allow some significant reliance on the fossil fuels. So this 8 years includes like all the current climate pledges, so leading to a more aggressive transition, while the net zero emission scenario is going to outline a pathway that is consistent with the limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So this visual data shows about the fossil fuels steadily declining in all these scenarios, with their dropping below 60% by 2050 in steps and approaching zero in net zero scenario, net zero emissions. So this slide shows the space of transition where it can dramatically depend on the policy ambitions as well as the investment level. So here the annual energy intensity improvement is shown. So greater improvements are crucial for achieving net zero goals. And in this middle left, where we have shown, where it is shown about the energy saving by the leveler. So the bar graph, it shows the energy saving which can be achieved by 2030, so which requires a broader and deeper intervention. And here clean cooking has a small but an important role in steps and APS. And in the top right, where a total energy supply and fossil fuel share is shown here. So the fossil fuel share is significantly going to drop in net zero emission, which is going to reach nearly close to 20% in by 2050, and the installed capacity and the corresponding emission reduction. So here the installation capacity under ATS and in net zero emission, which is going to have a sharp growth for solar PV and wind power, and the emission reduction of CO2, which is going to be greater CO2 saving than the steps. So the CO2 emission by the source is given here. So with respect to that, it reflects the early sign of decarbonization, particularly under the stronger climate scenario. So CO2 emissions from the coal, especially in power, industry, and other sectors, which is a stacked area of chart which is shown here. And the emission is like, it is a rising towards 2020, but after the start to decline after 2020, so especially from the power sector, so that we can analyze from this. And the total energy consumption through this building, like in terms of how energy is consumed across different end user sectors like buildings, transport, and industry, with a specific emphasis on the increasing share of electricity. Like electrification of end user sector is a key strategy for decarbonization. Like as the electricity can be generated from the clean sources, so the graph shown here, the all scenarios like electricity role in final energy consumption shows a significant to 2050, particularly in building, like where traditional fuels like natural gas and coals are going to be replaced by electrical heating, like via heat pumps, lighting, and other applicants. So this transition will improve the efficiency as well as it reduces the emission. So the energy demand in building is analyzed by fuel type, showing how clean electricity displaces like fossil fuels over the time, and rate of change is faster in APS and net zero scenarios, where it is more aggressive policies drive clean technology adoptions. So in the top left, where it can show total consumption by the sectors. So in that, different sectors are being shown for industry, buildings, and transport and other things. So in that, emerging market and development scenarios will rise slightly across different scenarios. And here the share of the electricity in the final consumptions by the sectors, like electricity share in building, industry, and transport. So out of this, building shows a strong rise in heating and other users, especially under that is net zero scenarios. And similarly, in industries, we have a growth in both light and heavy industries. And in transport, a rapid increase is there, especially for cars and two-wheelers and three-wheelers under net zero scenarios, which is slower growth in shipping and aviations. So these insight from this key insight is electricity becomes a dominant across in all these sectors, particularly under a net zero emissions. And similarly, a total CO2 emissions. So in this APS and step shows a slower decline, and the CO2 emission intensity in that net zero emission achieves the lowest emission intensity, which is due to clean technologies and the fuel which is going to be used. So these are the energy demands situation which is shown for 2050. So overall here, electrification is a key across in all these sectors, and the total energy which is going to use, total energy use is going to decline under APS and net zero emission. With the rise in population, even with the rise in the population and economic growth also, this total energy the energy usage is going to decline under this, and the fossil fuel demand and CO2 emission will fall dramatically under net zero emission. And building and transport sectors becomes electricity heavy by 2050. So these are the inference from this total final consumption. And coming to the electricity demand by electricity and fuels. So here the technologies such as as the electricity becomes the backbone of the low carbon energy systems, it explores the specific areas where it drives its growth. So this includes electric vehicles with charging infrastructure, electric heating in buildings, industries, electrifications, and emerging technologies like green hydrogen production and AI-powered data centers. The chart clearly differentiates between different scenarios, showing how it is more ambitious pathway results in a steeper increase in electricity demand due to the accelerated shift away from the fossil fuel. So underscores needed for modernification of power grid, integrating the variable renewables and investing in energy storage and demand side management technologies to maintain the system reliability. So here we can see the different renewable targets and electricity demand growth by the applicants and the corresponding scenarios and modern global electricity demand by the region and fossil fuel emissions from the electricity from 2013 to 2050. 2013 to 2053 is mentioned. And similarly, the electricity growth by the sources like solar PV, wind, hydro, nuclear, and other renewable coal gases. So these net change in generations is mentioned. And out of this, China, India, and others shows the more aggressive growth in solar and wind under ABS, and coal declines only modestly in steps but sharply in ABS. So the renewable and electrifications are scaling factors in these emerging economies, and coal phase out is uneven globally with many large economics, with the very large economics lagging a strong commitment. So EV, heat pumps, and hydrogen are a growth drivers for electricity demand, and the net zero emission demands like massive renewable and a clean energy expansion. By 2050, the fossil fuel power is nearly eliminated under the net zero emissions. So these are given under electricity and fuel. And coming to the clean energy technologies, so we have highlighted the seven green energy technologies, which is going to be globalized for decarbonization strategy. That is solar PV and wind, which is a more scalable and rapidly going to be deployed in renewable energy sources, and nuclear energy, which is going to be provide a reliable and low carbon base load power, and electric vehicles, which are going to be essential for decarbonizing the transport sectors, heat pumps, which is going to offer an efficient alternative to fossil fuel heating in buildings. So hydrogen, particularly we have green hydrogen, which is going to serve as a flexible energy carriers, which is going to decarbonize sectors like steel, cement, and other long haul transport. So carbon capture, utilization, and storage is going to be crucial for capturing emission from the fossil fuel and use that cannot be avoided in the short term. Okay. So here it is going to achieve a net zero emission by 2050, which requires not just implementing these technologies. It is also require integration between them into a system that supports each other. For example, if it is a hydrogen production, which is going to depend upon clean electricity, and EVs can serve as a distributed storage for the renewable power. So it requires integrated systems to support each other to achieve this net zero emission by 2020. So the key takeaways from this presentation about the pathway of energy mixes. So it is going to unfold like transformation driven by a technological innovation, climate commitments, and a market dynamics. So while fossil fuels still it is dominating today, their role is to set a decline steadily as cleaner alternatives becomes more viable and cost effective. But however, the transition will not happen automatically. It requires a targeted policies and significant investment and international collaborations and a public support. So the increasing electrification of end user sectors, especially through EVs and heat pumps, which is going to shape future energy demand patterns. So meanwhile, clean energy technologies, which is need to be scaled up rapidly to meet these climate goals. So the pathway to net zero is a challenging, but even though it is achievable if we take a decisive action right now. So once again, I thank you for the opportunity to share my insights on this.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Next, we call upon Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams, ma'am. Davis, give a brief introduction about ma'am.
Ma'am, Irfana is here to introduce me. Irfana from St. Joseph College of Engineering.
Whether he is in the line?
Yes, ma'am, I'm in the line.
Okay, continue, ma'am.
The next speaker is Professor Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams, an excellent academician with 30 years of experience in teaching and administration. Areas of interest: brand management, logistics and supply chain management, design thinking, marketing research, and research methodology.
Good evening, everyone. Sangeeta, your presentation was very nice. Firstly, a warm welcome to everyone. I'm discussing the topic exploring uncertainties and the outlook. The focus here is the present status quo that I'm showing here. What I'm trying to share here is about the unpredictable climate that we are all facing. That is, there are extreme weather disruptions happening not only in India but across the globe. There's also emergence of a lot of health threats that is increasing global vulnerability. And there's also, as we observe among all of us, and not only human beings, even among animals, there's a rising anxiety, which is affecting social stability and productivity. And this is also in a certain way affecting the macro factors, that is our economic factors, the social, legal, cultural shifts, etc. So coming to one of the very interesting article, I went through a lot of literature review, and I found this very pertinent to this particular session, and that's why I've chosen this. And this article suggests that uncertainty has been. This was a wonderful study done by Nicholas Bloom and his team. This was done in 2022, and it says this uncertainty has been consistently high since 2016. And if you can just see this, spikes here, it shows at different stages how this is the year that has happened. He's speaking from January 08 up to 2022 September, and each time it is only increasing, as you can see. So these are how it is affecting the global scenario. This page is not moving. Yeah. So now coming to the macro factors affecting society, global economic outlook is rapidly changing, and we are all part of it, and we are experiencing it a lot. These are also leading to a lot of anticipated risk and opportunities. When you're talking about the economic aspects, the shifts in market and trade influences are affecting industries, and that is indirectly affecting, not indirectly, it is also directly affecting each one of us. When you're talking about social aspects, it is the health crisis. There are a lot of we can see more and more people being affected by stress, and also about blood pressure, heart attacks, dying at a very young age suddenly due to heart attacks and all those things. And the legal and cultural leading to new regulations and cultural changes, which is reshaping behavior. These are some images that I just pulled in to show how unseasonal rains and unseasonal weather climatic conditions are affecting the environment. And here data says that within another by 2071, maybe there's going to be a huge decrease in corn yield, which is, they have studied about corn yield, but that is definitely going to affect, I'm sure, all the other, kind of not only crops, but our living conditions as well. This is one, startling on a report which I read, which mentioned that southern Brazil's farmers on the front line of climate crisis and how they are trying to overcome this. So this is not just a factor that is affecting India, but all across the globe. So the key takeaways here is there is definitely uncertainty, and we need to, since we have identified it, it is very important for us not only to discuss but to come forward to so there's going to be multiple unpredictable factors in the future. Climate impact to address crop and ecosystem risk and adaptation, that is farmers and societies must innovate to survive, and research is going to help ongoing studies to provide policy and action. So these are the references that I followed, and thank you for I'm not able to just a minute.
Visible, ma'am. Screen is visible.
Hello. Oh,
Your
okay.
screen
No,
is visible, ma'am.
I was not. Okay, okay. So, well, it is important to explore uncertainties because it helps us to understand and prepare for a range of possible future developments. So, scenario analysis is considered as per the review of literature I did. It is a key method to use to anticipate different potential you can say outcomes and develop strategies that are resilient under various conditions. It helps organizations to prepare for various future possibilities. It helps to reduce the risk and of being unprepared for change, and enable more flexibility and informed decision making. So let me thank Ramesh sir for creating this wonderful platform and for the opportunity provided. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. I now call upon Dr. Manimala, ma'am. Let Davis team introduce Manimala, ma'am. Davis.
Irfan, you can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. The next speaker is Manimala K. Earned a Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical and Electronics from Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli, India. She earned a master's degree in Computer Science and Engineering at the Computer Science Department of Manoramma Sundaram University, Tirunelveli. She was awarded the PhD degree for a research work titled Elegant Data Mining Technique for Optimal Future Set and Parameter Selection applicable to power quality data in the Faculty of Information and Communication Engineering by Anna University, Chennai. She has 28 years of teaching experience. She is currently working as Associate Professor in the Department of Information, Science and Technology, College of Engineering, Gindi, Anna University, Chennai. She has published 33 journal papers in reputed journals like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, and has published several conference papers, book chapters. She is a lifetime member in professional bodies like Indian Society of Technical Education and Institution of Engineering, India. She is a member of Board of Studies in several engineering colleges. She is also a reviewer for journals like Elsevier, IET, and Springer. She has held administrative posts like HOD and Deputy Warden during her teaching career. She has organized many conferences and symposiums with support from funding agencies. She has acted as a jury in several technical conferences and symposiums. She has delivered several guest lectures in artificial intelligence, IoT, and conducted workshops using MATLAB. She has received funds from Institution of Engineers India for 5 student projects under her guidance. She has also received a fund of rupees 6.8 lakhs from RTRO project titled Implementation of Path Planning Optimization Algorithms for Efficient Navigation of UAV. Currently, her project titled Leader Follower Autonomous Flight Control for UAV Swarm for 29.7 lakhs was sanctioned by DRDO ARDD panel and is ongoing stage. Her interests are doing hardware projects for energy saving and environment protection using IoT and implementing AI techniques for data analysis. So over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you so much for the opportunity given by IGEN to me. So I think you are all in hungry mode, and you are all maybe in sleeping mode also. So I just want to summarize only 3 points, that is security, affordability, and sustainability, and just a thought for all of us, just like that. I don't want to go much depth into the graph and everything, charts or any graphs or any insights, just thinking for all of us. Okay. So, is my screen shared?
Yes, ma'am.
But I am not able to move the screen. Yes. So these are the 3 things, that is intertwined challenges, that is climate change, rising energy demand, and geopolitical instability. These are the things that trigger and that will have impact on our EV usage also. So climate change, I want to talk about 3 things: security, affordability, and sustainability. So security, first of all, security means we need to provide electrical energy to all at any time, even during war times, even during climatic disasters. Under every condition, we have to supply electrical energy to all. That is, there should be some reliable electrical energy. Then affordability, the electrical energy should be available to all, independent of their social economic status or anything like that. We should give energy to all continuously without any disturbance. Then while thinking of these 2 things, that is by providing electrical energy to all at any time, we have to think of sustainability. That is, this new sort of energy we are going to plan in terms of renewable energy and solutions like EV technology should provide a sustainable environment. That is, it should give a clean and greener planet to our future generation also. So while while using all the things like EV and wind, solar, like other renewable energy sources, we have to think all these 3 aspects. So I want to talk about one thing. We are I think 2 months back, we all talked about Leviathan and Warfish, like that. So climate change, climate impact created such myths. Some maybe it may be mythology, but and that is, we are talking about some warfishes and several underground sea creatures coming out of ocean. That is because of the severe climatic impacts we have made. So all these underground creatures are coming out. There is one big creature called Leviathan, which is going to come out and which is going to swallow our world. So we are all going to sink under the sea. Like this, some mythologies are being talked much about. So why all these mythologies are coming out? Because we are not living in the planet in a proper condition. We are not giving a proper lifestyle. We are not trying to give the planet in a good manner, hand over the planet in a good manner to our future generation. So all these things create some disturbances in the sea as well as in the land, that is in the planet where we are living. So how to overcome all these things? How to save us from natural disasters, rising sea levels? Because everyone is talking about the Chennai sinking under sea, going to sink, like that. So we are facing several earthquakes. Recently, we faced several earthquakes. So how to come out of all these things and how to lead a safe life? Because our life is important than everything. So to save our life, at least we have to think of the 3 things, that is security, affordability, and sustainability. So this is actually the 3 important points in the energy trilemma. That is, we always talk about energy triangle, and these 3 are very important factors that we have to think about. So security, we have to provide reliable, uninterrupted access of energy to everyone, even under several that is natural or man-made disasters, like any geopolitical problems, like Ukraine-Russia war, or during climate-related disruptions, or during natural calamities like corona, like that. We have to give a safe planet. We have to make our life safe. Next one is affordability. We are thinking, I am paying money and I am using energy. I will use any amount of energy because I am ready to pay money. No, it's not like that. Affordability, that is, energy should be accessible for all the individuals. A person who is consuming less than 100 unit of energy should be given the same privilege during his entire lifetime as also for his future generation. So if we try to consume more energy, or if we go for more fossil fuel related energies, then we are really going to affect them, because those people are not damaging the earth much. So I should not talk, I am having money, I will pay the bill, so I will use energy in any way. So that's the thing, the energy should be affordable. Then sustainability, that is, we should not harm the environment, because each and everything depends on, each and everything in the earth is related to each other. So if you consume more energy, automatically water will get affected, water will get spoiled, and the land will get spoiled. So we have to think of all those things while thinking about this energy consumption. So my point today is, I think it's not moving again. PPT is not moving again.
Ma'am, just tap your cursor, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Tap your cursor. Cursor already tap பண்ணுங்க ma'am.
எதை tap பண்ண சொல்றீங்க?
Left click, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yes, thank you. So these are all the three things I have to talk about today, and please think of all these things, because all the persons who have presented before me talked about so many graphs and so many things about the EV influence. So we have to think of diversification. That is, we should shift from our oil dependency. So we have to think of storage related to EV. We should think of fast energy charging and everything. So we have to think of some charging station that should be taken along with the car or vehicle we are traveling. So electricity and critical mineral supply chain should be the frontier for our security. So we should focus on all the minerals as well as the chemicals that is used for this EV building. Then EV price parity should be in par with other conventional vehicles, conventional IC engines. Similarly, our youngsters as well as we all need some aesthetic sense while using EV. So that should also be focused while designing EV. So we should market our EV in such a way that it should be attractive to our youth generation also, like our Duke, Royal Enfield and everything. And developing countries should support to manage the cost as well as the financing risk. That is another thing. Then the final thing is sustainability. We are all thinking of all these EV, renewable energy and everything to maintain sustainability. And this should be the focus of all of us. So, but at the same time, we should not balance all these things together. If we talk of sustainability, then we will miss security. That is, we won't get continuous energy. Then we won't get energy at reduced cost. So rapid carbonization itself is a problem. It may threaten our security. So we have to balance all the three things. That is very important. So as innovators, as engineers, we have to think of new solutions that will balance all the 3 points of the energy triangle. So these are all the several challenges. All the speakers previously have talked about several challenges. So we should move towards a circular economy where there should be recycling of the product. There should be reduce, recycle and reuse. The products used for creating EV should not affect the environment again. So we have to think of all these things. And I think we are all moving towards the solution. That's why at this time itself, during night itself, we are all here to discuss what to do next. So let us all join hands together And this is all these graphs I want to skip because all other speakers have talked about. So finally, this is a call to action, and I, on behalf of IGEN, I invite you all to drive an energy transition that leaves no one behind. Let us all move together. Let us all work together to give good solution for this sustainability problem. So thank you all. With this, let me end my presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am. So now I think we are at the end of the session. I would like to invite Beno. Are you here, Beno?
Okay, good evening.
Beno, I would like to invite Beno to give a little brief on about our IGEN ENERGATHON STG awards. Then we can conclude. Welcome, Beno.
So it's with good evening. It is with great excitement and a strong sense of purpose that we all in the pre-conference session of IGEN ENERGATHON 2025. Today we proudly announce the launch of first edition of our IGEN ENERGATHON STG Awards 2025. This year we are focusing United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, mainly 7, 9, 11, 12 and 13. 7, we all know about affordable and clean energy. 9th one, industry innovation and infrastructure. 11th one, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. This time the award will be categorized into two main categories. That is, one is open category for institutions and industries. The awards are Academic Institutions Performer Award and second one Industry Performer Award. So there are 5 SDGs are there, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13. So each category, institutions as well as industries, the awards will be given. And the second category mainly focused for exclusively for green sustainable partnership. So organizations and industries, they are partner with IGEN in green sustainability partnership. So there are 3 category. One is for the professional, academic professional like faculty, and second one student professional, third one industry professionals. So for both the category, we are focusing only SDG 7, 9, 11, 12 and 13. So these awards are not only a token of recognition, they are the symbol of transformation, dedication and commitment to our planet in the future. So I warmly invite all to begin nominating outstanding contribution who deserve to be celebrated on this platform. The award ceremony will be held during IGEN ENERGATHON 2025. So the awards nomination started. It's already open. It will be available up to 5th May. So 5th May is the deadline for the ENERGATHON SDG Awards. Once again, I welcome each and everyone to contribute and explore to all the energy stars, both professional students, industrialists, and institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Beno. I think we can conclude the session. Israt ma'am, you can give the conclude and vote of thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining today's session. So it was wonderful session. It is a pre-conference on which focused about global EV outlook 2024. We had the welcome address by Dr. L. Lakshmi ji. Then then we had trends in electric cars and other light duty vehicles was given by Dr. Jayarama Pradeep madam. Then we had trends in heavy vehicle and EV charging. Then trends in EV batteries and industry was given by Dr. D. Lakshmi. Then outlook for e-mobility and charging infrastructure by Zahira Madam. Then we had outlook for battery demand and emissions reductions by Selvaraj sir. Then World Energy Outlook 2024 overview and key findings was presented by Anuradha ma'am, followed by setting the scene and regional insights by Kavita madam. Then we had pathways for the energy mix by Dr. S. Sangeeta ma'am, exploring uncertainties in the outlook by Dr. Vasanthi Reena Williams ma'am. Finally, the icing on the cake was the security and affordability and sustainability, which was the focus of point and that was put across by Dr. Manimala madam. We are thankful to each and every speaker who have joined us and made this pre-conference one is successful for the ENERGATHON 2025. And above all the volunteers backstage who have supported us in execution of this program smoothly. Above all, the backbone are IGEN directors, especially President Ramesh sir. Then we have Balamurugan sir, and also Beno sir, who has joined us and briefed us about the IGEN SDG Awards. I thank each and everyone who has joined today for the IGEN pre-conference one. Looking forward towards joining of each and every member for the pre-conference 2, which is scheduled next week, 26th April. If I missed any name, please pardon me. But it's our IGEN family, so I hope everyone looking forward to make this IGEN family a global one, so that we'll be able to achieve the SDG goal 7, especially with respect to this IGEN ENERGATHON. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we all will conclude today, and we'll all again join by our second pre-conference next Saturday. Our Dr. J. Rama madam and team is going to take care. Thank you all. Thank you so much, all the speakers. Thank you all, my dear students, headed by Davis Niranjan, all the members from all the colleges who done the backstage work very nicely. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.